4, I should say, but beyond that, of course, it's a who's who
Shrimsy,
really
Lou,
among
Tanvu,
some
Lou,
strong names
Orca.
here at the tournament so far.
I mean, sure, we only have 3 out of the 6 games yesterday was for Falcons and Twisted, but the overall story was definitely
There's no 4.
them coming.
Why is match number 4 not in here?
As we talked about at the end of yesterday, Gen G, if it wasn't for their win in the end, we probably wouldn't have had much to say about them. The same for 4AM. If it wasn't for that big Miramar game, we probably wouldn't have had too much to say about them.
But I mean, again, that's because of those guys on the left side. 1, 2, 3, or 1, 2, 4, I guess, set that stage.
For a championship, you can't, especially teams that are in the bottom, you can't let the Falcons and Twisted just run away with this thing. FaZe as well had a really, really good day yesterday. My eyes are onto that veteran squad to see if they can continue that really strong kind of macro game that they're showing us here. They're often getting in deep into games with a lot of players up. Want to see FaZe continue that success.
I mean, FaZe, there's so much to talk about whenever we think about this squad and what their capabilities. They were kind of fall in the same category whenever we talk about Team Liquid, and just we know that this has not been the best of years for them, but this squad, both of them, know the fact that they can perform at a higher level than what was happening at the beginning of the year, and they are fighting scrappy all the way through. Both squads, one's having more success right now, I would say, that feels like the FaZe side of that, just a bit more. But Team Liquid, I'm just waiting for them to have their pop-off.
You feel like it should just be a matter of time for Liquid before everybody just kind of has those games that we saw in the group stage where they're just individually going crazy, like they're bailing their own team out with some great performances.
We swapped our team around quite a bit.
We saw Sparking, where they'd have these moments that really just kind of lifted them up. Even Purdy Curdy had some really impactful moments for them during the group stage. Need more of that here today, obviously. Being bottom of the leaderboard, not where they want to be. I will say, talk to Purdy Curdy.
Oh, wait, I can't look at my fantasy team right now. It would give away everything.
Handling the adversity that they faced yesterday just fine.
I'm trying to remember. I know I got Shrimsy Batulins,
I'm not too worried about it. I believe absolutely feeling good
Cowboy instead of D this time.
I don't think they have any clue that Scappy's here.
I mean, again, it goes back to Force finds themselves in all of these interesting situations, whether through design.
I can't remember who my fourth was.
They exploit them every single time. They know they have ways to handle very odd situations.
I don't think it was anyone from FaZe. Might have been Orca again.
And this is what I love about the APAC teams in general, is they're not afraid to go
Definitely
for the
grabbed
high
Cowboy
percentage
though.
plays that are going to get them points. And this is one of those moments. Now the real question here is Akan going to read that Kiss is just bait? Kiss just drove in. I'm pretty sure Akan heard that. He should have. And kind of make him maybe try to fall back, and that's where Scappy is set to strike.
I'm still expecting Twisted Minds and Falcons to be on top, so.
Converging angles coming into play. This is really far up into the north right now, hanging out around Campo Militar, just to the south of it. So, a couple of shots now revealing positions, at least to try to see if they can start off anything. Not turned into anything, but I mean, this is a firm hunt. Kiss on one side of it is going to have the angle, and that's going to be
beautiful from Kiss.
Yeah, just a nice coordinated play here for Forest. They have got to be feeling good about this start. They're going to take this Murado as well. Gyuyon not in a position to challenge this, and it should be an escape here. But Kiss actually going to stay around, do a little bit of looting. Kind of curious about this. Thought they might both get into that car and just take their prize and leave, but Kiss is just, I guess, going to run back to his car, it looks like.
I mean, Gyumon's still kind of in the area, but not in a way that I don't know Force is going to go after. Baron's playing a bit high ground away from this, so should
be easy peasy.
Moving factors on the center of the circle. LPC find themselves pretty comfortable. 17's going to be up to the north of them, trying to collapse in. VP also doing a regroup. Full Sense just going to be to the southeast of that. I mean, most of our teams up to the northeast are still going to be our moving factors, giving the plane path into the circle. The circles pretty much do center on plane path, so really anybody that did their first early jumps are going to be the ones that are having to rotate.
Yeah, for sure. It's going to be, and maybe that's why Forest goes for this play, is just, oh, they're even going to blow that car up. They're just not even interested in it. That's probably took the blue chip and blew it up in there.
Yep.
But
I'm assuming
that's got to be it. Because you don't want to switch a Murado for a buggy any day of the week. But yeah, it's kind of one of those moments where, okay, you're outside of the circle anyway, might as well play for kills, play for points. Because,
that is interesting to see, though. Like, are we gonna occasionally see more buggies and stuff simply because people are trying to deny blue chips?
Twisted, I have confidence in to play any damn style they please, because they are just that good. They are great on the edge. They're great in the center. There's very little they don't do well. As you can see so far, our top kill leader, Shrimzy, at the top with the kills. But you can see
I think
the
they still
damage
have
numbers
Orca.
through the freaking roof for Perfectix. Almost 3,000 damage in one day.
It feels like there's this balance that happens between Perfectix and Example. Example's feeling it, he's popping off, but if for whatever reason he just can't find the kills, Perfectix is immediately there. And it makes it hard to deal with on Fantasy because you never know whichever one you should get, but two, it just makes it to where
No,
Twisted
go
feels
with Batu.
unstoppable every single time. There isn't a moment whenever they feel weak.
Yeah. You couldn't
I
say
want to
it
go
better.
Batu every single time.
I don't ever lack confidence in Twisted Minds. I always feel like they can win a fight, they can win a play, they can out macro you, they can out micro you.
Well, but here's an interesting situation with the way the rotates are coming in. Navi and Hakatori, who has just been excellence personified so far through the group stages leading into yesterday, he's going to be lined up pretty close to Twisted, potentially in the circle.
Well, that could be fun. I'd like to see him maybe do a little damage. Flash is going to fall there for full sense. So VP, a team that struggled a bit yesterday, one that we were talking about backstage, kind of thinking this team might be able to make a big move here today. They might have a really good day. There's just, again, one of those teams that has so much experience, so many good players that you feel like it's just a matter of time before they're able to get that chicken dinner, get the ball rolling.
Oh, this is an interesting situation as well for 17. They're running a 2-2 split just on the outskirts of Chumacera, but they've been kind of cut by position.
I think I still have
due to a
Orca on
very
my team.
wide split coming up from Katzia, as well as Team Liquid, who's holding the higher points of Chumacera. So 17, a squad we know that has excellence, gotta be a bit careful.
If I don't have Orca on my team, I'm gonna be a little disappointed in myself.
He's been outrageously good. Just absolutely outrageously good. As 4AM is struggling.
And I went with Cowboy instead of D this time, but I bet D is the one that pops off today.
Doesn't connect a single bullet there.
But guess what? Orca does.
Orca just feeling it. Walks up the top of the hillside.
Flame, can you hit a shot? There we go. Oh, no, it's Orca.
He could go for the finish, but he runs out of bullets. Has to prone down, but he's got teammates there to back him up. Just one more, and he's good to go. Realizes it, sees Longs at the back of this house. He's got him dead to rights.
Dude.
Orca with 4 kills to start the match.
The only thing that stops Orca right now is just running out of ammo, and that is...
I want to check and make sure that I had Orca on my team.
What has happened?
Uh,
They're on a come up and starting to return to their old form.
I'm so impressed.
It's
with
Orca.
GG and the way that they've adapted here.
Dude, if I don't have Orca on my team, I'm gonna be so disappointed in myself.
To the year, in terms of what they were doing at PGS at the Globals. Hell, it was a rough go of it for them in the PWS. And then somehow, some way, they get to these internationals. They're just one of these teams that just find their best form now at the bigger stages. They've learned how to be aggressive. That's the biggest thing right now for me for Gen G is they've learned how to take fights. They've learned how to set up traps. They've learned when they need to turn it on and find third parties. They are really, really coming into their own.
And you needed that right now. I mean, Korea, we know that there's some strength to be had, but it hasn't necessarily been the best PGS for you guys so far.
They don't have Peel there either right now.
Hey, I mean, welcome to
Wait,
the Americas where we
that's
get
not
one good
Korea.
team at a time.
Yeah. You know what? You got the Falcons.
I'm going crazy.
I know Kazuya has got to give you so much hope, but
Yeah.
I think for me,
Bagopod doesn't have their star player.
The concerning thing with Korea was a lot of teams
It's
didn't
Pero
know how to play aggro.
that doesn't
outside
have...
of maybe the Freaks.
Wait.
And even the Freaks aren't
No,
always-
Pero is
they
H
start
left.
so slow,
PO
they're
is
kinda
Bagopod.
really passive the first day of internationals.
Yeah.
It's like they're trying to feel things out instead of just feeling themselves. And one of the things
There's
that sucked
definitely, like,
about, with the Freaks was
I feel like 3 big players that aren't here that will probably be with there at PGC.
Now they came back to the internationals and the same flop, but the good news is here, if you're a Korea fan, Gen G, even Bagopod without PO looks really solid. They started off passive sometimes, too passive for me. Now they're starting to find their moments where they can find some of those third parties here at PGS.
Buram way down into the southeast, and not quite. I mean, they have one player that's inside the circle, but they look like their approach angle is going to be around Resort, so open. FaZe is going to be the closest team to them, but I mean, it's a full, pretty much kilometer away to even get to them. So
I think they're doing it on purpose.
getting closer and closer to E Arena. Looks like they.
I think they're trying to go for a
He was so filthy with the grenades yesterday. I mean,
rotation camp down there.
Every one he threw out of his hand was a 3-pointer, nothing but net. I mean, just disgusting. Let's take a look back here at Orca. Just a couple headshots. bang, bang, you're dead. I mean, this is unbelievably clean. And then Shen gets out of the car because Flame whiffs on the spray. Doesn't matter. You've got the crossfire set up, and then Orca just takes some fights on his own. Gets a little bit of spot and identification from Flame up on the hill. And he's just there to clean up. And that's frustrating. Yeah, oh, wow. The death slam there.
Yeah, two different sides of the coin, to say the least. Desk slam into cheers. Circle has popped, and it actually stays down near the, I guess, river channel.
Come on,
It's
Orca.
going over the island down to the south.
Keep on
So
farming.
it's gonna put FaZe,
Look,
Erie,
Burram is going to be in
Full
a
Sense, Falcon,
wonderful
Secret,
spot
Vision.
because of that.
Toasted already starting to make their rotation. Outlier teams up to the north are going to be Gen G, who are looking at the Expendables, but Gen G feeling themselves. No real big fear coming out from them. 17, though, going to have Begaba on one side making a rotate. Team Liquid with the high ground next to him. Remember, they were running that white split, and so they're going to run right into a big problem. Off on the other side of this, we've got Full Sense as well as VP. Finally, Lucarux spots out Thanadol and gets the knock onto him. It was looking pretty dicey. Now just Tigger, the last one up, and he's out.
That was almost disaster for, well, it is disaster for VP. I take it back. They get nailed by Vard from afar. Tigger there with 2 huge kills.
Oh.
Turning the tables onto VP. That is heartbreaking for both of them.
33
They started out
damage.
So early. They needed good starts to the day to maybe get back into contention. Meanwhile, 17 still trying to find something that they like in this circle, and they're just going to have to settle for the compound that has the revive station.
Begapa just in front of 17 in that rotate. They've got Irina on the high ground next to them. Couple of
Oh,
shots
Park Pro
in.
goes down here.
Alcazia's gonna take shots at
Park
the
Pro
front
is
sections of
a
this.
dead.
So, I mean, Begapa, you don't have really any good options. They're already kind of eyeing sprinklers and the dips around them, and that's just kind of the nature of the beast in this circle is really 2 members off over into the east of E Arena, closer to FaZe, and then Park Pro
Wow.
isolated, trapped, and that's going to be
Actually made it.
spots for
Orca?
Arena, but,
Oh,
uh,
dude, it's
no.
Orca again.
what is he doing? Let's just watch Orca. He's the only one fragging.
Yeah, we don't need to watch any other POVs this game. It just needs to be Gen G right now.
Nope, just Orca.
Just Orca. All right, just Orca is fine with me, man. A decent grenade there from Tosi. Catches a bit of damage onto Clories, but Clories just going to reposition. Should be A-okay. This Coop not doing so well for Gen G on its last legs in terms of damage. So, yeah, I think this is the wiser play. Get into the Bronco. That hasn't taken any damage and safely maybe disengage. Or just let Orca go out on his own and see what he can do, because he's just feeling it.
I'm feeling it. I got this. I don't need cars, guys.
Oh, he saw him.
Over here. I'm going to go after him. Sneaks up. Oh, God. Expendables has no idea. Shots, hillside. Meanwhile, Orca has no cover. Runs out. Flash is going to catch him. But, I mean, if anything, it just stalls. Goes for
No!
the Orca does go down, but there's reinforcements from Gingy. Oh, no! They turn the vehicle on the side. Worst timing. Duck Juice holds it up, and Gingy's dreams get dashed.
What a play there from Duck Juice. There is nothing Gen G can do right now to recover from this, because Bean is stuck with Twisted Minds all around him, so he has no hope. Let's see what he can do. Grenade is out. Batuan's caught some early damage, but that grenade whiffs. Perfecta catches Bean just a little bit, and he's dead. Gen G out.
Hey, Batu!
This is going to be a huge start to the day.
The rest of Expendables were taking shots at Venus, who was kind of forcing the fight. Not too much more he could do on that. Meanwhile, Expendables still outside, still gotta go. Circle does finally leave most of the water, but stays pretty centered, so not too crazy, except for over to the west, where we're gonna have 17.
How does he...
Forest all running
Batu
into
goes like
Orco
this,
and Team Liquid as the edge
right?
defenders.
Kinda curious
That's
how
his
long
picture.
FaZe is gonna keep this 2-2 split
I love
going.
Batu's
Both
picture.
at center, equidistant from the edges currently, so I think this is kind of a tough decision for FaZe. Do we group up? Do we try to just solidify a defense somewhere because of...
Oh, Luke 12 missing those shots. That's unfortunate.
There's still quite a bit of room to maneuver in this circle, and there's still a lot of teams fighting on the edge, so FaZe might be able to hold on to that 2-2 split for at least one more circle.
Twice, one in the head.
Play. I hope we see a replay of that from his perspective, because he played that so well. And it's a bit of a timing thing. He caught Orca when Orca wasn't very close to... Oh, wait, hold on. This is the VPFS. Oh, Luca, that was disgusting, but this didn't go so good.
Oh, this is just a really weird fight in general that's oddly timed.
Oh.
It feels like Full Sense had so much momentum in their defense, and then it
Damn.
just gets to be a whole bunch of other teams starting to take shots into the butts of both of these guys and forcing it down in this lower section.
Absolutely. Meanwhile, at the bottom of your screen, Tiggleton's letting loose with some mortars towards Team Liquid. Luke actually catches a bit of damage, but doesn't get knocked, so that's not too bad for them right now. They're able to spread out and stay alive.
Ooh, that one almost hit Alo.
Soften up Team Liquid. Liquid.
If they weren't so spread out, those mortars do really nail.
I really like this. Using Tiggleton to just kind of pop open the doors, at least force Team Liquid out of a more comfortable position that they were playing from defense.
Ooh.
But, I mean, Team Liquid and nades. Alo just drops it right on top of him. H1R down. Easy flush to follow up, but a bit of an overpeak.
Shrimsy goes down immediately, though.
Alo going to go ahead and get the flush onto Shrimsy as well. And now Falcons, they've got Tiggleton. Remember, he was doing the Morton back behind all of this. He's not in position to really reinforce too much, but he's just going to have to send it. While this is going on, just to the north, it is going to be the Expendables catching into 17, and now it's going to force Expendables to really run down this line. Falcons do not have much time on this, but you can see backstabs now starting to come into play. Too many teams getting attention on this point as E-Arena backstabbing onto Team Liquid, and here comes the Expendables.
Great timing from E-Arena. They are really hitting the back line.
Oh, now 17.
And it's been difficult for Team Liquid to recover, so they're going to lose a couple players. What looked like it was going to be a pretty clean win here for Liquid starts to fall apart. Kick gets a little bit of damage in towards Sparking, switching back over to that red dot, gets the spot, going to go for the stun, but it goes a bit far. Sparkings as well is going pretty far past Kick, so Kick's got the advantage and he's got the win, but immediately gets taken down by Opons.
That's just
Kick did good damage there, though.
Time you finally get your clutch shots in to take out the opponent. There's the third.
Is that only one kill for Falcons?
So E-Arena now cleanly has control over into the southwest. They do have one member in Tan Vu from the Expendables that's going to be over here. 17 in control of the northwest. They're a bit north of that. You can see Caloris also going to be over there. Yes, now we're going to have the circle pop. Pretty much stays center. Good news for FaZe.
This is going to be tough for 17. You go north, you got Twisted. You go south, you got Al-Qadsia. And there isn't a ton to play in inside of this new circle.
Yeah.
FaZe is going to leave that compound. That's opening up some space there for two different teams. Forest and E-Arena might kind of jostle for that position.
Friendly reminder to water your lawns if you've got them, because we are moving into Sprinkler Central right now. There's just a ton of them scattered everywhere, with FaZe having a compound in the center of it, a couple of hillsides that you can kind of play from, but there's not really much else to work with. So teams are going to be coming in lower ground fights.
Just realized, like, price-wise, you can do 4 players that are 25,000.
Approaching this from the north, it's going to feel absolutely terrible.
Yeah, this is so tough. There's just not a lot to play with in the northern half of this circle in terms of cover. So for 17, this is a dangerous.
Al-Qadsia is still up as 4. That's huge. Oh.
Get past D. He did a ton of damage. Roth's turn up the bat. Har flips. This should be it. Yeah. Down goes Tanvu.
What?
Through the same neighborhood, and they're going to go ahead and roll their vehicles, but the Sprinklers doing a good job of at least rallying them back.
What did we just witness?
Begapa taking shots. They're going to line in a bit more. It's going to be Yuan. Go ahead and takes him down. Twisted spots that, and with no real other options, going to be kind of following in back behind 17. At least most people distracted taking shots at 17.
Yeah, Xiaowu might survive, but he's going to lose the rest of his team to get there. And he finds some.
And I don't think he has a helmet.
It's not feeling great, though, as the combined fire of Na'Vi and Bagopot rips them asunder. And he has just a few hay bales to work with. That car not looking so good either. Might just want to blow it up if you're Xiaowu here and just use that for a little bit of extra cover, to be honest, because there just isn't much from this spot. I mean, you've got the hill behind you, but you can't really peek out to your east because Navi's going to have great sightlines on you.
Here's the regroup from high ground from Twisted. Al-Qadsia regrouping. This is right on the edge of the zone. Neither squad really inside of it yet. Lou is inside the circle for Twisted, so Twisted is probably going to use that hillside as a barrier to try to get away. Na'Vi is running a 2-2 split with Vision on this rotate from Twisted, so harassing it somewhat. That is also going to open up more of a path for Al-Qadsia. They are going to try to room a bit further down, but that's going to be in sight lines from Lou. And this is the circle from here on out into the north. This is everything. It's going to be highly visible.
Batu shoots Lou in the back.
I love the way that Twisted Minds approaches this situation. They have a high ground position, and obviously they can use it to harass a bit, but it's the scouting that something on the edge is going to be available, where a lot of teams like 17 had to make a mad dash to find safety. They're going to be able to just find a dip that's relatively A-okay. They let 17 go through, reveal kind of the positionings of some of those teammates, or some of the other teams and stuff like that.
Oh, that's a mortar.
This little position underneath them is going to be okay. They've got some kills already. A little bit of tough sledding ahead of them potentially, but tell you what, if these mortars are connectable.
Oh, yeah. Coming in. How good's the math on it? Oh, just a bit short. But
Yeah.
we tend to see people take that first shot, stretch it out a bit more. Second one doesn't follow in, but it's getting closer and closer by the second. Al-Qadsiya, I think, is starting to weather it. Realized, okay, they're not going to continue going forward, but hey, let's go ahead and get some more.
Hey,
Remember, the
guess
best one
what?
needs to get in the circle. Twisted's got to get in the circle, and Buriram as well. So,
In return,
again, Mortar's starting to try to see if they can weaken up for a rotate.
The counter battery fire here from Na'Vi is really good. That is so
Second one's gonna come through.
Out 3 players at Twisted. Seems
No?
like maybe the
I thought there was one more.
Maybe the mortars have ran out for Na'Vi, but man, oh man, they almost pretty quick there. Still hitting headshots, still doing damage.
Oh, this is a bad crossfire. Al-Qadsiya on one side, Na'Vi on the other, and it's just right after they took that damage. Rolls gets barely right on the edge of the zone, not even inside of it yet. Twisted just
Come on, cowboy.
And add Vegapot into this. The only one that's not taking shots over here is Xiao Wu, who's still in his hidey hole, hoping nobody notices him. Twisted still has to move forward to get in the safe zone, so this is absolute massacre for them.
Yeah, this was tough, and that mortar barrage weakened them, so they were pretty easy to pick off on the way in. And they needed some of their mortars to clear that space onto Al-Qadsiya, but they just couldn't quite get them dialed in time before they started receiving the
I might actually be able to get back up to 2.
What looked like it might be an okay position here for Twisted collapses quickly over towards Buriram, who's trying to get in towards FaZe on the east side.
Do what you got to do. Buriram realizes the weaknesses of this circle. They're going to start trying to see if they can creep in, maybe assault FaZe's position, but that could distract FaZe enough for a couple of these rotations.
Wow.
And other angles to open up Na'Vi.
Hakatori hopped out of that vehicle just in time.
The other members from Na'Vi now take looks.
One more nade.
Trying to hit that last little shot onto him to finish him out, but surviving and being enough of a distraction that it's opening up at least some type of movement. Finally goes down. Twisted still has to make that move, but it's going to be Al-Qadsiya that was taking shots.
Oh,
It's a
good
bit of pressure
nades.
opening up on them. That's going to be the push that we saw from FaZe Clan trying to defend it in their position. They sent everybody else. They surrendered control over the other angles. FaZe realizing the vulnerability of this push and instantly spun back into it.
FaZe needs to clean this up quickly because Forest is starting to drive in this direction. They want a third party this fight. I think this might be FaZe going down. They're handling Buriram pretty well, though.
Oh,
no.
The timing on that. Forest self-knock at the worst time. FaZe gets to spin back over, take the shots, continuing trying to defend from the high ground, but Buriram is still on top of him. It's gotten extremely messy.
Hakatori up to 200 kills.
FaZe looking down the hillside. They're trying to see if they can sneak around, but no, it is going to get spotted. FaZe Clan, who had control of the compound, gonna go down. Buriram, at a massive cost, at least gets into the circle. And
A massive? They only lost 1.
Trying to get the res off.
Yeah, well, it looked like it might have been a disastrous attempt there from Forest with knocking some of their own players. They're able to recover because Buriram holds the line. FaZe can't really bite down strong enough to really crack their way through. And now it's going to be the 2 tie teams squaring off over on the other side. Navi's looking into it, seeing if they can do some damage. Fairest was thinking about it, but actually he's going to be backed off. Realizes he's a little bit overexposed. So you've got 3 tie teams left in this. E-Arena still in the mix with 4 up. Could be a nice start to the day for APAC.
This is a really interesting situation that we've got brewing with Forest really timing this well to jump in. Buriram now back up to 3. Up into the north, a phenomenal...
Yeah, FaZe just didn't take care of it quick enough.
So we'll have to see the focal points as this looks like Buriram isn't wanting to push too much more in.
Like, FaZe kind of did need to just play that super aggressive and try and, like, annihilate them. And then go back in afterwards.
It's going to be Lyrics and Nurens. They're taking shots in onto them, so... Al-Qadsiya, this is going to be a pretty crazy run if you can get into the circle, but I mean, E-Arena is getting pretty violent, and Na'Vi is firmly setting up their defenses.
Yeah, and Na'Vi here...
Extends is almost out of bullets.
To buy space here for Fairest and Hakatori to potentially get into grenade range, but with E-Arena being there as well, the calculus has changed a bit for Na'Vi because they have to be worried about that flank angle. They have to stay underneath this hill to make sure that E-Arena doesn't get angles towards them. They got to be real careful. Here you go. Are the grenades going to be good? They look like they're on the money!
On to D and Cowboy, the 2 that you really didn't want.
What are you even going to do? You've got to rally it back up and get some type of attack onto Na'Vi. They are just walking all over you. E-Arena watching in the distance.
Now Rello goes down.
In any of this, the 2 members from Na'Vi, it's going to be Fairest.
Doubled up on the blue zone.
No can pop off, just walking right into the easiest sight lines imaginable. Do they spot the last one? Couple of shots, but that's going to be it. Hakatori popping off.
Yeah, the drop shots there, so nice. 11 kills for Na'Vi now. They are just storming this northern side, wrecking teams on their way into this.
E-Arena doing some damage, though.
Couldn't really find a lot of damage onto Na'Vi, a little bit onto Al-Qadsia, but
I think Opons is...
not all of them going to Na'Vi, so E-Arena just
I have Opons on my team. He might be my
maybe something happens with the Forest Buriram fight.
my
Maybe one of
bench
them,
player.
you know, just wins the fight kind of outright and then can kind of create a distraction on the Na'Vi's flank, but it's going to be kind of an awkward situation because it feels like that Buriram Forest fight could be pretty devastating to both of those teams.
Well, they both pretty much stopped, and they're comfortable with each other. They don't feel good about it. I mean, Kiss is still watching them down.
This is still the first match of the day.
In this game, it's going to be Na'Vi as well as E-Arena. Na'Vi being the big pop-off with 11 kills right now. E-Arena sitting at 6. This is kind of the high ground to low ground situation that we were talking about inside this. There's going to be pretty much the valley is the center of the circle, which Na'Vi has Favorites kind of scouting around. That's going to open up the angles for Forest and Buriram to finally take those shots. E-Arena has been hunkered down right next to this position, but they don't want to go down the hillside because for the longest time they were worried about the firing lines and setup. Buriram, though, no longer content to be comfy neighbors.
Yeah, you're going to have to make a decision here as E-Arena. I mean, I think you'd like for the Buriram Forest fight to kick off before you make your move, if possible. But you might not have much of a choice. Kiss holds the line and does a bunch of damage. Can't get the knock, though.
Finally lines in. It's going to be Baron. That gets actually both. A good peek around that is now Forest has all the momentum in this. Compound did get kind of separated away from the circle, so they know that they need to
Han gets one onto Kiss. It's a huge Molotov. Kiss is dead.
But there is not a lot of an angle to work with there. That fence eating a couple of bullets as well.
Yeah, Khan threw a really nice molly there, too. Threw a grenade into a molly that at least got Kiss out of the way, so he's out of the equation for the rest of this round. But Scappy knows where Khan has to be hiding, and a perfect frag will wipe Buriram out. But Forest only loses one in that battle. Still very much a big role to play in this game.
It's a big game for Forest so far. Na'Vi up on the mountain, still looking around. The Arena Lyrics
4, 7, and 8.
But that's about it.
E-Arena wins this. That's going to be a huge game for the top of the leaderboard. Na'Vi wins it. It's still going to be huge, but I don't think it's going to make as much of a difference as E-Arena. Depends. If they get all the kills, but...
Gonna challenge Baron at the warehouse. Not sure if he's aware that one player from Forest had stuck around. I think he's got the links there. Yeah, he does. So that's kind of a precarious position because he's got that level 3 gear. He's got that links that can be an end game difference maker. Finally, though, Baron does end up leaving that warehouse. Doesn't seem to want to try to challenge with the cover fire from E-Arena on the high ground on the other side of the circle. Felt like that was going to be too tough of a fight to take. So E-Arena here making some really nice late game moves.
Just patience, man. They've just been holding it slow, steady, letting Na'Vi do their work up to the north ahead of them. They've been picking up the kills and everything's been going on to the southwest. More defenses dropping down for Forest right now. The high ground angles from Na'Vi, though, are the scarier thing for them to deal with. The only benefit to it is Na'Vi really can't push into a point where they can get good angles onto Forest due to E-Arena's position. So we've just got a full-on standoff for the That's a way to handle it.
This is one way to deal with that problem. Gonna go for the C4 play. Should even be able to get out of this. Yeah, this is really nicely thought out. It doesn't go all the way though.
Oh, it's too slow.
It doesn't have the tires.
It's just a turtle running down there at the max speed. They finally give up in frustration. Nade starting to land down. Is it going to be that? Looked like that landed in the cubby pretty good, and yes, is gonna connect.
Yeah, they do a ton of damage here to Forest, but E-Arena are going to be the ones to swoop in and claim the points at the very least. Hakatori and Sosa combined to take down Nurens. Things collapsing on top of E-Arena.
E-Arena went for split angles, and it's getting punished pretty heavily, but finally E-Arena starting to turn the angles back around. Na'Vi at 13 kills right now.
Opons and Jacob.
Versus E-Arena's 2. There's still one down for Na'Vi, and they're committed to the res, so it has only been one member in Sosa trying to pin in. Jacob, though, knows this. He's wrapping around the circle. It looks like he's trying to get over there in time to maybe catch anybody before Meds, but the timing is just not going to be right.
And his links bought him the opportunity to make this move. He took down Hakatori with it, forced a res out of Na'Vi, and opened up some space to try to create this extra flank, to try to pin Na'Vi in.
Does that shoot through the folded shield?
It's just a matter, are they going to be able to convert? Na'Vi still has the numbers, of course, but E-Arena has been looking really sharp here at the end of the game.
This crossfire could spell their doom or their victory. E-Arena has to trust into their aim. Whenever you lose all the cover, whenever you're just having to fight in no man's land, that's all it comes down to.
I think
Multiple
3
members
bullets
from
still
Na'Vi
left.
slowly making their way down the hill, trying to get some Doritos of their own for defense. On the high ground, it's going to be Hakatori lined up against Jacob, realizing the potential of the threat in those angles. Hakatori, this is a bold peak to take against a Lynx.
He's got the FAMAS though, so he's got the opportunity. The damage being done there by Jacob doesn't connect enough to get the knock though. No pond.
Hakatori goes down.
Takes down Hakatori.
Oh, that's gonna be big. Now, Sosaid extends low on life. Jacob starting to move forward. Opon still defending the angle up. They have control of the center dot for
You
the
should have
time
one more,
being.
yeah.
Na'Vi seeing if they can maybe light up somebody. Jacob keeps creeping forward, but they cannot get the angle onto him that they want.
They're just dealing with players, but Opons actually gets taken down by Sosaid. He had done quite a bit of damage there, but couldn't convert into the knock onto Na'Vi. So that's going to put it all into Jacob. Jacob, one more bullet in this Lynx. Can he make it worth it?
Oh,
Doesn't get
missing the Link shock.
Trying to see if he can
Yeah.
get some more, and nope, Blue Zone's gonna
Don't
finish
blame
it
him.
off, and that's gonna be Na'Vi taking game number 1.
Exactly what the doctor ordered here for Na'Vi. Looked great in the group stage. Day 1, a little bit rough for them in the grand finals, but day 2 here, a chicken dinner, is going to right those wrongs.
E-Arena gonna feel really good about that one. Position to defend and
Alright, right into match number 2.
Is this now potentially a Protona game?
This one is unlikely, but at least has a little bit of hope. I'd say like
That's
less than 10%.
That's the Miramar Island game I can get behind. Give me some Partona.
Every once in a while, you get those circles that end up between Prison and Partona as well that are pretty wild. There's a couple of those compounds out there.
I had one of those right before we came over here, and it was unpleasant due to the lack of cover that can sometimes happen over there. I mean, you do get a couple of interesting hillside firefights.
Yeah, and at least there's a couple extra options to get over to that island now with the bridges and the zip lines. So,
True.
so there's the ability to do things. As you can see, the damage numbers.
Varus.
The roof. Sosa doing a ton of damage, even though the kill count not nearly as high. So you gotta like that from Na'Vi. Everybody getting involved, everybody doing their part behind some great decision making, some great grenades. That's the recipe for a chicken dinner in PUBG, and those guys absolutely were cooking.
Yeah, it's just a matter of time, and I know we've been saying this for so long with Na'Vi, but once they really, on the international stage, gel the consistency there, because when we see them have their big games, boy, they are super technical, super smart, and absolute banger firefights. It's just sometimes the next game doesn't always go the best. But whenever they can start to gel that and start kind of rallying it, it's gonna be a problem for this lobby.
Exactly. We're looking at some of these grenades, some of the shots. You know,
Oh, that one went through the window of the truck.
With some of these, the shots onto 17, the grenades there, the follow-up from Hakatori, perfect. And again, it's the shooting that they used to pin Alcadzia into this position to set up the push, knowing that they had that hillside for a little bit of cover, as well as E-Arena tunneled in a bit onto Alcadzia, open up that space for them to make that maneuver, and then they're able to just kind of lock E-Arena out, even though E-Arena, I think, had a pretty okay chance there to maybe turn that fight on its head, but a big win onto Opons out in the middle of that final circle gave them the ability to just shut the round down.
Teams in good positions already. VP, Full Sense, who we didn't see a lot of inside the last game. Alcadzia yet again. The Expendables already going to be playing the northern section of Chumacera. E-Arena is going to be regrouping right alongside of Full Sense. Team Liquid also making a very early rotate, but we've got Opons with some insights on what's going on with their squad.
ก็เป็นวันที่ดีครับทำให้เราได้ให้ผมรู้สึกว่าผมเล่นได้อย่างที่ผมคิดคือผมทำได้ในระดับนี้ครับก็คือเราแก้ด้วยการรอบคอลิฟายเราไม่ค่อยกล้าหาคิวครับคือเราจะเน้นปิดไกลแต่ว่าเราทำไม่ได้ครับเลยทำให้เราเล่นได้ไม่ดีเท่าที่ควรแต่พอเราแก้มา ก็ทำให้เราได้ดีขึ้นครับก็วันนั้นเราไปกินข้าวครับเลยคือเราปล่อยจอยกันแล้วว่าเรา50-50อะไรครับก็คือแต่พอเรากลับมาเราก็เริ่มมาดูเกมหลังๆเราก็ดูรู้สึกว่าเรามีหวังมากขึ้นเรื่อยๆเราก็ลุ้นกันครับพอเรารู้ว่าเราได้เข้าแน่เราก็กระโดดดีใจกอดกันครับ
Nerve-wracking, is the only thing I could say. With probably that last day of groups, just kind of watching it all go down. But they managed to hold it. Oh, good scouting out from Team Liquid. Realizes, maybe we don't want to go that way. Instead, there's still plenty of space that's going to be
Yeah.
I mean, the entirety of the west of the circle is open, and they know that because they just chased down this angle. Looks like they're just trying to make sure. Irina, though, not going to be too comfortable.
Orca is way up there on kills and damage now.
Separated with a 2-1-1 split.
Look at that. Orca now tied for the kill lead with Shrimzy for the grand finals here at PGS 9. After that unbelievable start.
I don't think he was tied. I thought he was one ahead.
Further for Gen G, but you know what? Those points are keeping them very much in the mix here. Up to 44, down to 7th because Na'Vi takes over that 6th place spot with the win, but still got to be feeling okay as Gen G. I don't think you should be too down about that previous game. You say, hey, we took a great fight against 4AM. Yeah, Orca did a ton of stuff, but the team positioning as well behind that fight was really nice.
We talk a lot about points per game, and yes, while Gen G did go out early, thanks Orca, points per game stayed pretty good.
Yeah.
Man, Poro's got him on his fantasy team, and it's just...
It's painful.
It hurts.
It's painful. It's okay, though. Well,
Is
you're always like at the top of the leaderboard, so shush.
I do pretty well usually, yeah.
I always have a similar squad to you, and even though we don't plan it in advance, but my 4th is always not as good as yours, so I end up eating crow.
Tasty, tasty crow. Speaking of birds...
Not as good as chicken dinners.
That's very true. Speaking of birds, it's the Falcons. They might be running into Gen G there, actually, I think, out on the map. But Bagel Paw? Oh, wow. How does he hit the head there? I mean,
there's only 9,000 bullets out of it. One of them has to finally hit the head, right?
It's just you know, the odds approach there. If you spray enough bullets, eventually one of them's going to connect. And now you got Batu who's taking a position where maybe he could punish Sungjong. Just misses.
Come on, Batu.
They still have a con that's not even regrouping. No fear of what's kind of happening. This might just be okay, we've just got to write off what we can do. See if maybe we can rescue. Batu, not done. High ground yet again. Shifting position, seeing like maybe they've got momentum, making sure that there's no reinforcements. Akana's finally hopped into a vehicle, but I feel like this is a bit too late.
Yeah, the grenades here are going to soften them up a little bit, but not much. I mean, Twisted, the fact that they're committing to this fight, pretty interesting.
Nice throw, though. I like the idea. The Twisted was still being a bit slower. Twisted, though, they've got goals.
They do. Gyuyun's in a really tough spot, though. He needs a bit of a bailout from the rest of his squad.
The rest of the squad is finally getting there. Khan, while it has been a very late rotate, looks like he's going to be wrapping into the north. Gyuyun's going to go down. Lu's taking a lot of damage, so he's going to have to med up. And that's the problem with these open top areas. If you just throw in enough nades, finally the nade will connect, and it's just fish in a barrel.
No doubt about it. I mean, that's the tough part.
Batu was 77 damage, too.
It's so tricky to lock down that open.
But it's Clories that got the first kill?
Because there's so many.
Onto who?
You know, if you take the.
Is Clories with an angle on this?
Right, those are where you crash, where exactly Twisted drove into. That makes things really, really difficult to defend those spots. Yeah, but did he?
Maybe. Oh, that headshot's gonna make it a lot scarier, but I mean, it's enough. Quotations on enough for the time being.
Come on, Cowboy. Oh.
Gonna take the shots. Cowboy goes down.
Cowboy, don't get flushed.
Yeah, the Expendables were doing damage to Bagel Paw as well. They were the ones who got involved in that fight to help things out for Twisted Minds a little bit. Right now with this split. Now Kazuya loses Cowboy. Roth gonna go for the chip and the util. It looks like it's just a matter of, can you get to a spot where you can actually get the resin? Because right now Clories is camping the best one. And look at Delwyn. This is classic Delwyn.
Charging in. Gonna get a bit of the tail end, as it looks like should be able to extricate. Not comfy about it. Roth looks like he does want to wrap around. Duck Juice has already actually hopped in a vehicle. I thought maybe he was trying to cut off the angle, but nope. Instead, looks like he was just trying to reinforce. Gen G is also pretty close to this point, and yeah, I mean, Al-Qadsia, I guess it's just regroup and play comfy, but now you're going to have Twisted and Gen G next to you, as well as the Expendables. That's a horrible life to live.
To say the least, Matt. That is not where I'd want to be.
What, you got to deal with Perfectix, Orca, as well as Tanvu all at the same time? Pass, bro. I don't want a part of that.
That sounds pretty horrible, to be honest with you. FaZe is up in the air, and they are looking for some landing zones. Hey, the good news here for FaZe, by the way, they have some great options, and especially if this
it's a bad go live notification.
They're going to have so much free real estate to drop in that's going to be safe. They could even get a vehicle or two, depending on what's been scooped up around Chumacera, but they're just a little bit ahead of this. Just depends on which way this all shifts. DBS not going to be what you want, but you get the level 3 gear at least.
Boo. Opons thinks it as well. But Opons, we just became friends.
Oh, wow, we're just going south. A little bit further west than what we ended at. You can see where 4 a.m. is. That's about where the last circle ended. And instead, it's going to be a little bit shifted in the other direction towards that hill where we saw that fight between Liquid and Falcons. FaZe still in the plane.
Yeah.
FaZe going to have to make a decision here. There is far west, but then you're going to have to fight your way in.
Well, they're going east, and that feels like maybe not
Falcons went west last time, but this time they went to the east.
Expendables were thinking about it as well. So, a couple of shots, they at least make landfall.
Yeah.
The other members for the Expendables not quite in position to defend up yet. Duck Juice is rolling over on the buggy. Delwyn, remember this is kind of where that firefight was going on just a moment ago with Al-Qadsia.
Yeah, I think they saw Delwyn on the way in, so that's why those grenades are prepped for him. But Duckjuice going to let loose with some of his own, goes a bit far to really catch much damage there. Gen G rotating in behind this as well. Let's see if they're going to continue their aggressive nature, look for the third parties. Looks like they're lining up for it. Khan goes down. It's Fairest again.
Na'Vi continues their role. This is what I was talking about. This is where you got to start being a bit afraid. If Na'Vi can start to string together some of these big games, it is going to be brutal on this lobby, and Buriram wants nothing to do with it. This is on the outside of the circle, so we also do have 4 angry men taking shots into the backside of Na'Vi, but Na'Vi pretty comfortable still.
Yeah, I mean, Buriram's going to have for the reses on the backside right now. Khan unresable, more or less. Knocks onto FaZe here. Tanvu continuing to be just one of the best on the planet, if not the best. Clory's going to follow up, and FaZe has lost 2.
Poor Clory's. I mean, it's just Tanvu popping off so hard. This is we know.
Toasty from the other side.
Hey, sometimes you can overpeak a bit, or Gen G can just Gen G you from behind as Tanvu.
Where's Orca? Orca's dead too.
Moments that FaZe can maybe try to rally from. Gen G is
Watch it have been in the first 10 minutes too.
Having 2 members over here. Flame is really far behind the rest of the squad.
He's got to be ultra careful here as Gen
Or Orca and Cowboy fucking down before the first 10 minutes probably.
Pick a squad.
I think it's Al-Qadsia.
Al-Qadsia twisted. There's a lot going on over there.
Yeah, there's a lot of players looking towards Gen G. They needed to get a little bit more damage done on that fight if they were going to fully commit, and they couldn't. So this might just be a bit of a retreat, a bit of a fight to stay alive here for Toasty. He's going to have to use a lot of smokes to try to escape the Expendables and their sight lines. There's other teams from afar who I saw shooting into this too, so could be a little tricky.
Hey, Glory's gonna get kills now. Tanfu's finally dead. The reason why everybody's fighting around this is this has got some really great high ground, a lot of control in the circle. Downside to it is now there's too many teams that are kind of stacked over here. Even FaZe, whenever they made their drop, was getting harassed from VP from the lower section, so the Expendables and Gen G both...
Toasty makes it over to the shack.
FaZe is still up there, but really can't peek out too much, and Na'Vi, man, they got goals, and that goal is we want Buriram gone.
Yeah, they know they need to clean out their backside because there's a lot of teams that are going to be on the eastern side of this circle, so they need as much breathing room as they can create for themselves. And Ruse is like,
this is kind of an unexpected spot to be at. I mean, he spotted, but oh, did he get spotted too? Oh, yeah, that's... Oh, wow! There was no world in which he survived there.
Yeah, once they figured out where he was, it was all hands on deck to make sure he was dealt with. Looks like Buriram might be sending players on the outside of all of this to try to escape the Na'Vi encampment. Circle, in the meantime, going to go a little bit southeast. 17 still going to be in on the coast with their spread formation. E-Arena and a 2-2 over on that western side. Them and Liquid might be butting heads again. Forrest driving around trying to figure out what's going on. Falcons dive in to this spot to land. They have to fight through maybe Gen G to get in.
But spotted some cars on their landing, and that could be at least something to get them into the zone. But yeah, dealing with Gen G is going to kind of suck.
It's their own vehicles.
Down to the south, pretty close to
They set up an E-pickup. They decided that it was not worth it with this zone.
They do get the reses.
Yeah.
They do get the revive. So they've got Cowboy back in the mix. Just got to get him some loot. And they're going to try to set up a forward position, but it's just shut down by example.
Just traded right there. You get one back, and then suddenly Roth goes down. Hey, D, I mean, hey, also, bye. Bye, Bronco.
Bye, Bronco. Hi, Bronco.
Welcome back. I mean, D's like, I don't really want to do that. Instead, retreats, but here's the problem. Twisted is also playing very north in this. Feels like maybe with that knock, they think that they have authority onto Al-Qadsia, and Al-Qadzia's got to be careful. They might even get backstabbed by where we see Begapa making a rotate.
You could be right. I like this from Twisted, though, knowing that Alcadzia is bringing the
It's a bait
revive.
Bronco Batulans.
Yeah,
Nobody's in it.
It's not real. I know. I get it. He's like, wait, where'd that Bronco come from? And
Well, I mean, it also did kind of, like, because it came down the hill, it kind of
Exactly.
curved around.
yeah,
Got to be careful
that's
sometimes.
a tough read. That's a tough read. But I like this setup from Twisted. Gatekeep, Alcadzia, maybe even Bagopod runs into this. It depends on how Bagopod drives. If they go far enough to our left from the viewpoint we're taking here, they should kind of avoid this, actually. The real question is can they get in underneath the Expendables' noses without paying any price?
Cross
Yes.
the field right next to Twisted and the Expendables both. You're just kind of playing with fire right now. This is the pathing to make it up into the hill, but this is the cursed hillside where everybody has just been getting punished, and the new contender is going to be Bagapa. Expendables waiting for him to crest the top of that hill, but look at this. Chong playing this very slow, going to get rewarded for not taking a lot of damage at the start, but now it's starting to open up. Too many sight lines, too many angles. Twisted now starting to get the shots out of
I don't think the other two are gonna make it through.
I mean, still alive. And Songjong is still continuing on his merry way. He's headed right into the center of the circle. Finally gets his tire popped.
Now you're begging for Songjong to just stay alive somewhere in the middle, because the rest of Bagopod isn't going to be able to get back to him. But he's out on a road. He should be dead, you would think.
I'm kind of shocked. I was going to say,
Aw.
there's way too many people that have sight lines on that. Somebody's going to get him. And I mean, it was Full Sense that was taking, I think that actually did pop the tire. It was either that or the remnants of FaZe up there. So now, Akan, you're right up next to Calories, and not an easy path in. Bark Pros.
I think it's an assassination mission.
Alcadzia wants nothing to do with that. Circle still stays on that hillside.
Gen G got a res. They're going to bring Orca back into play. Akan somehow catches Clories out in the open. Takes
Let's
him
go. Orca's back. Cowboy's back.
out of there. He does not want to continue that fight. He knows he's going to be at a huge disadvantage, so you got what you could out of that situation.
Shrimzy's still alive.
Navi finally making their way out of the blue after
Batu's still alive.
keep on towards the Burion players. You can see Hakatori, no more first aids in the bag. Extends, no more first aids in the bag. This is so difficult for Navi unless they can get some kills and scoop up off of the dead bodies in front of them.
And 17 was playing a 2-1-1, and Zhao Wu was very close to that spot. 4 Angry Men making their rotate right next to the Falcons. Falcons did manage to get a couple of members into the safe zone. Actually, multiple members of Falcons just trying to chase after this. Don't want to go up the
They
hill.
wanted it.
I do not blame them. 4 Angry Men now getting shot at by VP, but I think that they found somewhere that they can stop. There's a bit of a dip right there. Other member's going to go ahead and rotate a little bit wider to keep it safe.
Okay. Honestly, for 4 a.m., there are some dips here. There's this shack. This is a really nice spot to be in this circle compared to a lot of others. And
Yeah.
there's going to be so much congestion around the outside, and not many teams are going to want to
Oh, Navi.
move through. Speaking of moving through, Navi, they're going to have to fight again. They're going to have to fight their way one way or another.
I don't even know if they can really fight. It's just too many angles set up. Catches some air. One already down. Good shots coming up from a combo of everybody. It's going to be 7-7.
7-7.
That just ends Navi.
Yeah, it just took too long out on the edges of that circle to really start making any moves. 17, though, has to make a move of their own. Tiggleton gets the headshot onto Xiao Bei. Should get the flush here. It's taking a little bit.
Be careful.
Ooh, can't confirm.
Yeah, and H1 isn't.
It's okay, Shrimzy's got it.
Here. He's already got a foothold for the squad, so they don't want to stay on this too long. Instead, it was just kind of seeing if maybe they can Falcons up a kill over there. Can't really call it vulturing if you're a Falcon, right? Here's the rotate from Team Liquid right on top of Alcadzia, and the woes continue for Alcadzia because there are just no options. Sparking does go down to pretty decent cost, but Team Liquid going to be happy if they can finish this off fast enough to get into the zone.
Yeah, that's tough. Sparking had a P90 there, too, so they're at least going to want to grab that.
What's with the ghost rides, man?
There's been a lot of ghost riding this one. I'm not sure if we've just been...
We've been haunted. It's almost Halloween.
90s back when that was a thing. All right, Atungmu does take Olympus down. He has fallen. Now you're looking for some grenade damage from Forest.
They're just kind of slow roll them down the hillside, and Forest does have a knock on their side. Forest, again, kind of being this squad that still has more potential to grow from, and they're in a good position right now. They have E-Arena just to the south. Team Liquid is also bumped.
Again, there's only like 2 teams that haven't done well so far. Batu gets a knock.
I don't even know how you
Oh, Flash stole it away.
Fight up the top. And, I mean, Twisted is just so strong in defense right now, and even Full Sense is leaving the circle, eyeing at Thanadol, looking like he's going to try to backstab Luke 12. Luke 12, I don't even know if he expects this coming.
He might not even survive long enough. Twisted Minds player still doing a bit of damage. Perfectix thinking about the grenade. Once goes a bit far, doesn't matter. Catches him on the edge of the smoke, almost gets him down. Luke hanging on.
Just trying to survive at this point. Smoke's going to go ahead.
Perfectix literally runs into the smoke.
With the way the new circle is popped. Trying to see if he can get some utility. Luke seeing if maybe he can clutch a point, get something else out of it, but there are so many members of Twisted. If that nade does connect, it could open up something, but there's just nothing he can do outside of that.
No, that was really
Nade.
kind of dicey for Team Liquid. I thought maybe if they could get that fight against Alcadzia a little bit cleaner, they could use that P90, get up and close and personal into a battle, but still.
Oh my god, that
was a C4 trying to do something to 4AM, but they're really doing a great job navigating this position.
they are just staying alive.
The ones that do the lion's share of damage to 4AM.
But still no clean angles. The way that the car fortification.
Oh, Tongmu goes down here. Scappy couldn't find the second. Wait. Okay. For a second, I thought it wasn't happening. Is it only Scappy fighting there right now?
They've kind of shifted down the hill, but remember, Twisted still has to deal with the Expendables, as well as a Khan who's still over here. And
I feel like it's only.
On the south. Oh man, I was about to say Falcons just rolled up right behind E Arena. The Expendables.
Oh, Batu got knocked.
Really kept the top of this mountain under control for so long against so many different threats, and now Twisted Minds.
Get Batu back up.
And do something. Okay, example, fragging out this game. They need that from him.
Especially on this hillside, this is just so hard to deal with. Duck Juice looks like he was trying to see if he could open up, but at least gets a flush before he goes down. Remember, Akan is still alive. Over here. Here's the firefight to the south. It's going to be Falcons with the high ground, not quite inside the circle. 17 still playing in the lower sections of it, not in the circle either. Opan still alive for E Arena, as well as having Burram's Damasty over here. Forest keeps playing with 4 angry men, but they also look like they're eyeing, seeing if they could jump into this, and now H1 is going to finally spot out Opans and finish him off.
My concern right now for the Falcons is I don't think they've checked this shanty town that Damasty has rolled up into. I don't think Tiggleton saw him in there. He drove around it, maybe he knows, but that could be kind of an awkward situation for the Falcons if they don't deal with him cleanly, because they could have another fight. Meanwhile, Kiss just smoking. Lil Ghost goes down pretty quick, but he's got a little bit of help from above. Not that there's any hope for Lil Ghost, but it's at least. Oh my God! He's rolling in.
Oh God, Blake!
7-7.
They were in a terrible spot, and 17 just fighting uphill every single step. Only Olympus now up for Forest. He was looking at what was going on with 4 angry men. The new circle pops. 4 angry men comfy inside of it. VP kind of comfy. But now what are you going to do, Xiao Wu? Just get your flushes. Step up as Falcons are going to be chasing after you.
Yeah, the Falcons want to take 17 out of this lobby. That's going to open up a lot of space on the south side for them. Olympus, not really a lot he can do in this, except maybe try to salvage whatever placement points he can. Stuns are out for the Falcons.
Kickstart finds one.
Gets the immediate re-knock onto 7-7. Xiao Wu underneath. The first spray, not the best.
Shrimsy.
8 kills now for Falcons. High ground being big for them. 4 angry men actually left the compound that they were holding. Instead goes to play along the edge.
Orca goes down to Perfectix.
Has multiple members looking up onto that hillside where Genji's going to be playing from.
Really?
Nixie over here. We still also
but I like Batu.
James is alive. 4 phase that need to get into the zone. But Genji, can you walk down this? I don't even know. There's going to be like 3 or 4 squads, maybe even 5 looking at you once you try to cross the top of that hill.
Well, I was just wondering if there are any cars left up there for Genji to use, because that's really their only hope of it.
No, they all rolled down the hill.
Yeah, off of the top of the peaks. But if they don't have cars, then you're absolutely right. This is so tough to get down. And to make matters worse, you got 2 players of phase flanked out below the hill and are going to make your life an absolute nightmare if you try to walk down it.
Look at this.
To make what you said even worse, the fact that there's everybody who's going to see this.
Right into Vex, man. This is just... I mean, Genji had a good position for a while, but they getting out of this is so hard. Tosi just trying to catch some airtime. Kind of steals it, hoping that the tree is going to be enough, but it's not.
There's nothing. There's literally nothing here.
Hey,
Bean picks up one, though. Orca did get 2 kills. That's good.
That's all you can do.
Yeah, I mean, what do? You've got all of VP just taking pot shots at you. Falcons, I think, were even trying to see if they can get something long range out. Genji, valiant attempt, but they're going to go down. 4 angry men after leaving their shack. Not feeling too good about it, as it's going to be a lot of people taking shots at them. Shin's still going to be pretty close, but Full Sense also took a lot of casualties in their rotate into the circle.
Falcons have a tremendous opportunity here to put themselves on top of the leaderboard. FaZe is going to fall. 4AM going to be the ones to take down Jeems and wipe them out of this. Not a bad game, though, for them. 4AM continuing to cling to life out here as Flash finds Shen.
Tongmu is the last one flashing to life.
Full sense, trying to use this rock to get a res. The Falcons
Shrimsy.
they are just all over these edges.
Shrimsy wants it very, very close. Peeks
No! Don't get flushed.
Well, before he goes down. That's VP over into the northeast. Falcons down in the center of the south. We still have Buriram Demacy right back, waiting to backstab. And it is a scary, scary stuff the way the VP is moving into the north. Falcons need to finish up Demacy really quick. Do take him down. So we are looking at a 3v4. For
the backstab onto Tiggleton.
He was just telling me in between game 1 and 2 here that he was a little frustrated with how he played that situation in that fight against Team Liquid. Felt like he threw a little bit. Well, that's a great recovery for him. 4 kills, able to take down the player that could have really ruined their chances in this. Now, it's still going to be hard. VP still has a ton of advantages.
It is 4v3.
They've got the numbers. They've got the position. Falcons could recover. They have played this so well, and they find themselves on top of the leaderboard here for PGS9.
Lucarux seeing if he can find defensive counter angles to deal with the high ground that the Falcons have to work with. Numbers advantage favoring Virtus Pro, but middle of the pack in the thick. Finding kills here and a victory could be.
Where do you go? Where do you go?
For VP. Opposite side of that, like you're talking about, breathing room away from Twisted. Falcons want as much of this as they can get, but losing Shrimsy in that push down, going for 4 angry men, could be costly.
No, that was really pivotal in terms of how the end game is going to shape up. They do spot Corexy. They're able to combine some fire in his direction, but only get about half damage. So that's not exactly what you wanted there. Had you found the knock,
they have a good idea where they are.
Resources towards getting that res. And that would have opened up some space for the Falcons to make a maneuver, try to maybe overstack a flank. Instead, now, you're relinquishing zone control to VP a bit. They're going to be able to maintain these crossfires.
Remember, this is only phase number 7 as well, so we're probably seeing this slow down just a bit until we get the new circle and how it lines up.
Us Falcons hit a couple of shots.
Lucarux has managed to get very close to the circle. Not quite yet in it, him and Corexy, but there's a couple of dips that they can continue to play on the hillside. But it's a little dicey on that angle. Lucarux not feeling too comfortable with it. Corexy's going to go ahead and regroup next to Beamy and Nixie as well. So this is just kind of attrition fighting right now, trying to burn off armor, helmets, meds, anything that they can get. Lucarux, yeah, again, no surprise. Not the best position to be playing over there, so just regrouping. And we've got Wolfpack versus Wolfpack right now. Actually, I say that. Lucarux does extend a bit further in to get this hill to work with.
Yeah, absolutely the right move here for VP to get Lucarux.
And loot. So much loot here.
Yeah, there's a lot of dead bodies from...
I was really thinking about Falcons trying to send it down into, like, the dips around here, too.
Hasn't really opened up much space. Now you can set up this 1-3, so the 3 players behind can cover for Lucarux, keep him in a position that when the Falcons has to make a move, he can be there for the frags. They've got 7 still left for VP, and he's going to be the guy that you want to have in that spot. Beamy with 2, would love to maybe get him a little bit further forward, but for now, you can just hold the Falcons down this ridge line. They're going to have to commit a ton of smokes. The good news for Falcons is they do have a ton of smokes, so they can at least make a go at getting down this hill, trying to use this ridge line around the left side to cut off as much opportunity.
Tiggleton! Look at this. 2 of them are going to hop in the vehicle so quickly.
He instantly spins back into the vehicles. They're trying to shift down the hill. They know it's a problem. They've got to exploit this as fast as possible. Numbers advantage be damned. Jumps out, does manage to at least get to the hill. This is going to be right along the zone, and they have a couple of better pathing options to deal with what we can see. Counterbalancing that, Lucarux instantly reads it. He shifts to the other side of the circle to see if he can continue to hold a crossfire angle, but he has been spotted.
He's spotted.
Oh, Corexy hit a nice grenade on a kickstart right as he was lining up to go for the spray. That threw him off just enough that you really can't punish Lucarux there. So VP continuing to play nicely despite some good shooting from the Falcons.
Oh, no. Tiggleton going down.
Good play coming up from VP, reading the terrain well, and now Falcons are trapped. 3
yeah.
Chasing after the Falcons in the low ground, and Lucarux up on the high ground, punishing everything. Hwin, the last one up, and VP takes it clean.
Yeah, a nice there at the end. VP really holding on.
16 points from third.
3 points ahead of Twisted Minds.
Like thousands of, tens of thousands of dollars, hundreds of TTS points that makes the difference here if you're third or if you're ninth. And one good game for any of the teams.
Okadzia falling down
A lot
now.
of teams chasing though.
Americas, and then Americas.
But still,
Give it a rabbit,
you've got to get things
Ah.
as you get to Gert Curry.
That's absolutely right, of course. I mean, for Angry Men being where they are is a big surprise to me so far. But what a pleasant surprise.
Yes.
Yeah. Right next to it. I mean, who would want to live over there? There's not even a road that leads, right?
Me.
Oh, well, I mean, but I guess the internet would be good enough for you, right?
Hey, yeah, exactly. If it's in Korea, we're good to go.
Imagine being on a mountain peninsula, isolated, that also has an island right next to it. Bro, if you're living in Wolsong, you got some choices you have made in your life where you do not want to be near anyone.
That's correct. And that would be fantastic. just get me out into nature. I want to enjoy some nice tea with a good view.
That's how I grew up, was in the middle of nowhere, Texas, and I was like, nah. Nearest convenience store was 25 minutes away from my house. Now,
Yeah.
It's all fine and good, but
More as like a getaway. I'll put it that way.
give me a fast food place, please.
Yeah, I live in Seoul now, and I love the city. So actually, I'm
Right, okay, see, that makes sense why you want to get away.
just every once in a while, not all the time. Just maybe like a couple weeks out of the year. Get me into something nice. Speaking of getting
Yeah,
into,
see, I can respect that.
Yeah. Getting into something nice. Hopefully, 17 and some of the other teams that have still struggled a bit can get themselves into something nice. But yeah, Navi, VP, going to be looking pretty nice on the western edge of this circle to start this game. Our 2-game winners, but everything's so southern oriented. A lot of teams going to be fighting to get in from that north. Buriram, Forest, Team Liquid, Genji, Al-Qadsia, Falcons, all going to be kind of figuring things out.
Meanwhile, FaZe, center of the circle, Books and Celtics doing them very well. So they should have early rotate options. Really, Lil Ghost for 17. You were talking about that this is a squad that definitely needs to find something going on. They've already sent one of their members pretty far towards the center in Little Ghost, so I guess that's kind of the plan. Full sense. They've got themselves lined up kind of close to Navi, but not really. It's more just kind of a separated looting situation going on with them. 4 Angry Men back over into the east is pretty open, but also did send Shin very far into the west. So a couple of solos hanging out pretty close to FaZe.
Yeah, so this seems to be the early game MO for the Chinese teams when they've got a nice center circle, when they've got some options available. This is pretty typical for 17 for sure. Lil Ghost is often, especially on Erangel and Tego, out on his own, trying to scout out for the rest of 17 to get into some of those early game central positions that they can lock down and hopefully rack in some big points. Obviously, Al-Qadsia dropped for vehicles first, then drove over here to Palace. And they are uncontested for it in these grand finals. Saw them squaring off a little bit, but against JDG. But let's listen to the interview from Ferris, see what Navi has to say about their win.
Hi, I'm Lisa. I'm here with Ferris from Navi. So for the first Mirror game, you get 14 eliminations for teams, and you personally got 6. And we saw also very good use of grenades and mortars. And after looking at the data, we saw that you actually doubled the score from yesterday. So what has changed from yesterday?
Ви дуже гарно стартували. У вас, не дивлячись на другу гру, перша була дуже вдала. Ви зробили класні муви, класні гранати. І вже подвоїли ваші поінти порівняно з вчорашнім днем. Підкажи, будь ласка, що змінилося порівняно зі вчорашнім перформансом?
Ну, ми вчора сіли, проаналізували наші помилки. Сьогодні зібралися просто з думками, настроїлись ментально і тому показали такий хороший перформанс.
So, we did analyze our mistakes from yesterday. We did some mental preparations and show pretty good performance from the first game, and we will try to continue this.
Very interesting mental preparations, and good luck on the next game.
Mirror, mirror on the wall, who is the fairest of them all?
Oh, I like that. Well done.
I
Beautiful.
didn't even notice the bounce on that nade that went through the Bronco.
Yeah.
Oh, that was sick.
That was nasty, but plus 5 points to you for the
I mean, nobody's beaten Toffee.
the Snow White reference.
The whale
I don't
joke
know.
was
I
too
don't
good.
know. I think yours might be a little better.
Now, mine's worse in a different way. He was the best part about Toffee's was watching James's face, watching Kalaris whenever that joke happened. I can't top that.
That's true. If you can make Kalaris suffer, you've already won the day.
Well, at least you've won Paper Thin's heart.
That's true. That's all. That's all I live for anymore.
Oh, you guys, it's a good thing you can't hear the green room banter that happens. Okay, so rotates up into the north. Brewer, I'm already going. They've got Falcons that's running 2-2 split just to their south. They might bump into them, might not. Forest, who hung out around the trees around Army Base, they've got to rotate next to Team Liquid. Gen G and Al Qadsia pretty close to each other near that western bridge around the fishing camp. Orca's going to spot out D. Orca not getting the kill yet, but I don't know. It's Orca. He's going to get it sooner or later.
Oh.
I never counted out. Oh, no. Here's another one. Maybe he'll get this one. No! It's going to be Roth that finally takes down the beast.
Just barely.
No, dude.
The headshot onto Roth. And that is not a great start for Gen G, who's looking to get aggressive early again. I mean, their game plan here today, if they're outside
Come on. What is it with me losing players in the first 10 minutes?
in play as well. You know, you can revive
Orca twice now, I think. And I lost Cowboy earlier.
There's a chance that Gen G might
Watch Gen G fight this, and only Cowboy goes down for Al Qadsia.
South around. Kisses bumped into Team Liquid's Alo. Alo took the worst into that, but Sparking's got some plans. He's just going to jump around. Doesn't spot out what he wants. Does finally connect in after he makes contact with the car.
Yeah, kind of curious about Al Qadsia there. I thought maybe they might go for the blue chip denial by blowing it up. Luke 12 has a Panzerfaust Baron in the earliest BRDM I think I've ever seen in my life.
And he didn't even steal this one. And so, I mean, he's just going to run for it for a time being. It doesn't look like Team Liquid is too big on sending after a BRDM at this stage.
No, you're just hoping that he drove into that Panzer. That's really your only option there. If he doesn't do that, then should be maybe a change in ideas. But he actually drives at Sparking. Sparking trying to get the hell out of there.
Remember the fact that Sparking was still kind of caught up on that car because of how it crashed. So Sparking...
Oh, Baron goes down. They can steal the BRDM.
12. And the wraparound does get the knock onto Baron. That means that Forest, if they want to keep this BRDM, has to go after it. Does Team Liquid feel feisty? Can they steal from the Thieves as Olympus spots out Alo?
That's going to be a flush immediately.
Yeah, man, that's going to be an easy pickup. I don't think that Team Liquid can get over there in time to support.
Dude,
yep,
that is...
Sparking gets it.
That's true. That is ridiculous. That is a 150-meter Dragunov kill there for Olympus on a guy who likes to Dragunov himself in Alo. Holy cow, that is horrific for Team Liquid. I don't know if they know Scappy's right next to Luke 12 either.
No shock on that. Use the BRDM to block out, try to see if you can get the blue chip. So, oh, I mean, Luke 12 did wrap over here a second ago and got the knock, so they should know that Luke's over here, but I don't think that they're expecting him to play this aggressive. Olympus doesn't have a good angle, so seeing if maybe the Hail Mary nade can get the bounce. Is it going to roll the right way? Almost gets the flush, and following! Sparking just runs them both over!
I love it. Sparking's like, I know exactly where you are. And that grenade
Holy.
did the job, but it's Sparking who just slams on in there. Now Kurt driving down Olympus, going for the M4 spray. Runs out of bullets, not going to get it just yet.
Imagine running over two members with the BRDM that you stole from them. Disrespect.
But I respect it.
I love it. I mean, that's what PUBG's about.
I was kind of hoping Kurt would switch to the Panzer and just go for the most insane Panzer shot. Like driving, just try to get it, but...
And see, look, it's lucky that they didn't take the Panzerfaust shot earlier.
Now you should at least be able to get the res here as well. So
Okay, Orca's going to get back up.
Al Qadsia apparently didn't sit for it, yeah.
Yeah, I think it was just a little too hot. Gen G was just a little too close for comfort. So couldn't quite go for the denial play.
Well, Al Qadsia actually did go to the other side of the bridge and is kind of waiting over there inside the zone. I think that Flame might have spotted it, though. I don't know specifically, as Orca is already coming in and should be able to make landfall and should be able to also get his loot. Qadsia, do you want to stay for this, or are you just kind of here? Just got to refuel.
They're also doing a little bit of scouting of Palace for loot to get Orca back into play. Kickstart has the BRDM too, so a couple early vehicle pickups for some of these teams to look to scale into the late game and try to do some serious damage.
You know, I was talking to a couple of players that say that while the BRDM has a lot of strengths to it, and it's BRDM, right? One of the more interesting things with it is it kind of sucks to see.
There is 3 blue chips there.
Too many shots at what's going on with the BRDM, and I mean, good luck on getting those reses. I don't, just completely denies it, but that's kind of one of the things you want with the vehicles, right? Is you kind of roam around, see who takes shots at you. But now it's gotten to the point in the meta, people just don't even take the shots. So while you're nice and defended, you don't get the information that you could get out of a weaker vehicle.
Yeah, it's such a rock, paper, scissors with the BRDM, right?
Yeah.
If someone has a Panzer, you're in trouble. Like, if you give them the angle, they're going to take you down. If they don't, then the only other really good recourse they have is that they have all their guns on you quickly and they can just shred it, right? Like they have an M249 and a barrel or something like that, and then they can just shred it. But if they don't, if they're spread out and they don't have the ability to put good damage quickly,
Oh, Burram.
absolutely you're not going to want to shoot at. You just want to ignore it as much as you can.
The Expendables roll right into Fayrist, and that's going to be...
Hakatori missed those shots.
Down, but Glorious staying committed in. Tanvu still seeing if he can get an angle. Hakatori does spot out a bit of a distance going on with the Expendables, but Hakatori wants to go over a step, and Tanvu gets the knock onto him with the nade. And the Expendables starting to rally this back together. Steps around the side, extends, goes for the shots, gets the knock onto one, but doesn't get the follow-up.
Now the Expendables don't feel like they can commit, but this might be a bit of a bait to try to set up Delwyn. I'm not sure if he's just running or if he's trying to position to backstab Na'Vi or at least find the flush onto Hakatori with this grenade. Na'Vi still not convinced that the Expendables have left. They are fortifying this edge. They would love to get their Star Fragger back up and running.
I mean, would you expect the Expendables to leave?
No.
I haven't seen that in their history happen too often. You know that instead they're planning something. These guys are conniving and, again, will exploit any opportunity that's presented. Even something that shows up as like losing a member. Okay, fine. How do we backstab on you? How do we use that to our advantage? And that's how they managed to get their PGC win.
Yeah, they're so crafty. They're just incredibly aware of like the thought processes of most teams and how they can exploit that sort of, this is the safe play, right? Like we want to fall back or do this, and then they're just right there to pounce and, you know, capitalize.
There is no safe play for you.
Fun team to watch. Now this game not going so good for them, but they are at least going to be in the game for now. Bagel Pot has rolled up to the southern side of Buksan Sa, and they are looking to see if the Expendables had gone over here. They heard that fighting earlier, and they're looking to see if they can get some freebies out of this.
So, really weird thing that's going on way up to the north. Gen.G still hasn't moved over from the island. Remember how they kind of regrouped over there? I don't know why, but Olympus is now over there as well. Palace has got Olympus and Gen.G in it, and it's nowhere near the safe
Olympus
zone.
wants to go for the revive.
But they
he
were all
can't.
blown
Don't
up.
wait,
They were all blown up. That's why I'm confused. Why is he even over here for the... I don't know. My brain hurts. Yeah, see, this is the weird thing that we have happening is, I guess maybe he was coming over here for safety, but there is no safety around Orca.
He must have just been going for a wide wrap and got caught. That's the best I can come up with here.
I don't even think that I've seen them shoot at each other, though.
Then I don't know.
But okay, Gen.G is playing like they expect somebody over here, so they had to at least have spotted him and taken some shots.
For sure. I mean, you would have to assume that they heard this. So this is kind of weird. No matter how you cut this, Gen.G, though, going to have to eat through quite a bit of blue just to wait this out. And it seems like they're content to do so. The real question is Olympus still also going to go for more loot? I mean, I think he's just trying to slurp up as much first aid stuff as he can to try to outlast the blue as long as he can.
Okay, well, New Circle, full sense, and there are tons of crates around them, feeling pretty good, as well as Al-Qadsia. Team Liquid has an easy path in. 17, pretty close to the recall. Oh, Tosi.
With the timing.
Tosi has spotted somebody.
He had him dead to rights, but he was jiggle peeking.
Twisted and 17 are also very close to each other, so a couple of fights brewing. Is also Begapa making a wrap, while Irina's going on, 4 Angry Men making a long wrap. Olympus, greed could be your downfall if you are not careful here. Already down to pretty low on life. He needs to med up before he rounds. There's a path in front of him, but Tosi waiting to make sure it is denied. Waiting for the meds. There you go. So Tosi, are the meds going to be enough? And no, they're
Not even close.
Gen.G picks up another early one.
Yeah,
He's so...
tough road for Forest Gaming in this one. Falcons, oh my god, that's so many Panzers. For a second there, I thought that was going to be maybe a FaZe vehicle that rolled in, but it's actually Kickstart just driving around, trying to bait out a reaction from FaZe. It feels like, whereas the Falcons are so ready for whatever happens, if they're able to get the spot onto Gustav, they can light him up with the Panzers. If FaZe drives into this, they can light him up with the Panzers. They are primed to just ruin this round.
Yeah, I mean, poor Gustav right now. Nobody on FaZe is like, oh, okay, well, we'll provide some long-range support, but not really. That's just done. I mean, he held the Victor on the lower side of it, so good job on Falcons actually playing the upper section approach.
I'm a bit surprised that Gustav didn't react to the sound cues there. Not sure what was going on. They're at least going to pop a tire as a little bit of revenge, but that's not much. FaZe gonna have to group up just the one UAZ. It seems like
Don't
James must have another vehicle
send it down there.
or they're just thinking about using him as the anchor. Purdy Curdy gets up on top of the awnings, wants to see what's going on, but Alcazia's got him dead. He's just done.
Yeah, that's the easiest shot.
Yeah, it's a floating Purdy for a second.
Now Team Liquid knows who the opponent next to them is, but if they regroup more to the east of this position, that's going to be the route that Twisted is taking. So Sparking, how bold do you want to play around that? There could be a new set of problems if Team Liquid doesn't regroup fast enough.
Yeah, I'm a bit concerned for Liquid. That's just...
4 Angry Men's wrap actually coming up right back behind VP's Beamy as well. So that's going to be a couple of shots coming out from Beamy onto Shin to finish him out. 4 Angry Men probably not going to continue that path, but doesn't feel good. Oh, a Tongmu! VP feeling themselves after that last game.
Yeah, they've got such a spread.
They're having a good day.
Like you were saying,
I mean, our top 2 teams are still our top 2 teams, really, right now.
Every angle they tried to find to break through, there was a Virtus Pro player there, and look at that, they're hiding the pony behind that little hill line. 4AM maybe going to be able to get a res. Phase 4 circle about to pop. Where?
Cowboy and Orca are both up. Batul and Shrimsy.
Actually, 17 as Burram's going to be to the south. You just got to continue going. Circle pops also doesn't feel too good. Vex has been left behind to maybe defend up, but it's not going to matter. 7-7 on the high ground. Going to take down James. Quick flush to follow.
Nice.
Now Bard. From bad to worse here for FaZe. One more bullet should do the job onto him.
Vegapod will get him. No nerf.
From E-Arena. He's going to connect with the AUG spray from afar.
Park Pro gets the kill.
At a prodigious rate. And Fex trying to find a way.
Welsh Warrior the last one up, and do you backstab onto 17? Do you let him cut a path for you? This is not a lot of good options, but he's playing it a bit more aggressive. Remember, this is outside the safe zone, so wraps could be happening. Falcons look like they're eyeing more into the north. With 17 having this more wide split, could be its own issue. Vex does come alive, takes the shot, doesn't get what he wants out of it. 7-7 again, being catastrophe for FaZe.
Oh man, if that had gone a little for 17, oh, it's going bad. Hakatori just got a knock. Here comes the Falcons, all in the armored vehicle. They've got a Lynx too for H-Win. This is a great opportunity, and they're connecting.
That's just an instant pop-out, goes for the punch onto it, but if they all jump back in, Xiao Wu has a present. Kickstart roaming around, seeing if he can bait out the shots.
Oh, it's Hakatori.
The shots onto Xiao Wu. That opens it up for Kickstart. He just runs in, and 17 is gone.
Oh, my.
Again from the Falcons, dude. They are absolutely so in tune with each other right now, and their decision-making completely on point. That was so well thought out. Obviously, it helps you get a little bit of long-range shooting from Hakatori, but man, oh man, they executed that flawlessly.
Big fight going on. Alcazia's taking the shots into Twisted, forcing them into the east. And remember who's in the east. It's the
Cowboy has a kill.
Falcons. Not quite close enough to really get vision, take the shots, but now Twisted going to go ahead Crest Hillside. Falcons do start to see this. Na'Vi realize the vulnerabilities. Hey, you know what's better than 1 C4? How about 2? Let's roll them right in, and you know that full sense positioning that's been feeling pretty good for a while, it's about to feel pretty bad. The only benefit to it is full sense is pretty separated, so the explosion's gonna go off and not get much.
Here goes the rest of Na'Vi. They're slamming in. Flash trying to stay alive. Belmoth trying to bail him out, but the corner peek here, not in time for Zosed. He gets shut down by Belmoth. So far, so good for Full Sense. Hakatori extends.
I mean, Full Sense need it good right now.
Oh, the gas can just to buy some space.
Glorious is coming up back behind this one. Where is he going to opt into going? Na'Vi in a lot of trouble. Full Sense firmly regrouping. Be careful as now more throwables on the outside of the wall. Not quite connecting. He gets a peek around. Tigger's taking some damage. Can't quite get it. Finally spots out. Na'Vi does go down. But here's the new circle right on the edge of it. Kalori's also going down. That means that the Expendables are in some trouble. But look into the northeast. It's going to be E-Arena, Alcazia, Twisted, Burram all on top of each other. And sure, let's throw in Thanadol as well.
Yeah, here we go. Smoke's trying to come out. The Falcons trying to get even more value out of the BRDM. Alcazia taking this fight against Twisted Minds. Example,
Jacob
fell off screen. Jacob just went nuts. He hit that BRDM with the Panzer. Unbelievable shot from him. Lou has a good angle onto Roth and gets him jumping.
It's just a bloodbath over here. Cowboy very far away, trying to see if he can take supporting shots, not having clean sight lines onto what's going on close range. It's just going to be him and D. All this is all going to be stacked up on top of each other and throwing.
A nade might be good for Batu. Oh, no.
Either squad wants to. We got to keep an eye on what's going on with E-Arena, as well as Shrimzy, Burron wrapping in.
Shrimzy's the last one up for Falcons right now.
For very little cover to work with afterwards. What is happening with the team of Liquid? They're just falling apart due to Begapa over here.
Yeah, hard to say. There's so much fighting going on right now. Shrimzy's still alive for the Falcons. He's the only one. Time to play a little bit of salvage. The bad news is there's just too many teams in your way. Maybe hoping that the remnants of Buriram are going to be able to do some damage here to E-Arena. God, that's fast, Shrimzy. No way.
Oh, he hit another.
Almost got it.
He hit another headshot.
E-Arena. There's a big break point after Twisted down to E-Arena, but Twisted still being alive has an opportunity they have to stay alive for. Gen.G's Bean rested Gen.G, who's been kind of eating blue for a long time, finally finding safe zones, but
Bean's gonna go down.
And gosh, VP just taking so much control over this circle already.
Yeah, they have found fantastic sight lines from their high ground, and that Panzer right into the driver's side window.
Barely lived.
Yeah, he's just far enough away from where that Panzer hit that he survived, but didn't last for too much longer. Twisted's like, enough of this crap. Let's try to find our way forward. They're still not in the circle in that position. Here goes Buriram. They're sending 3.
I mean, just send it in. It's a very weakened E-Arena, but Opans doesn't like anything that's going on over here. He's going to go ahead and hop in. The vehicle actually stops, trying to use the hillside. Buriram just kind of wrapping through, see whatever they can find over here, knowing that this is a pretty open circle, trying to see if maybe they can get their loot back up. But the other sections of E-Arena waiting to pounce. Thanadol also hearing this. Remember, he's been hanging out for a while, kind of being a foothold position for Full Sense. He's got to be careful that he doesn't go down, though. As
He does.
Bottom, but the distraction is enough for Buriram to backstab. Opon spins it back around, and now Buriram in trouble as well.
Edie trying to do something, and he will. He will knock out E-Arena, but not before Opons goes absolutely crazy again, this time with the guns. Gyuyun has set up a fort around the outskirts of this northwest side. He's got Gen.G.
What even is this?
All in the vicinity.
And VP is the only one with a player inside the zone.
Those grenades not going to finish him off. The first aid able to come through. Oh no, he's done.
I mean, one from one side doesn't connect, but now both squads, or I guess both duos, eyeing how they want to handle a full control coming out from Full Sense and VP both. And this is a open circle. We've got a crossroads really being about it. This point that we're looking at is not even in the safe zone. It's the hills that are going to be to the south of that. Twisted doesn't want to run in just quite yet. Just 3-point differential between them and the Falcons. And Buriram looks like they're just going to walk up and present some potential points for them. They take it away, and this is getting closer by the second. Nades, though, follow up from Gen.G. Do take down Batulins. This is going to have to be dicey. 89-89, and Lou runs for safety as Gen.G goes on the hunt.
Tough spot to be in there as Twisted. They had to deal with Buriram in the back, but Lou gets one. Tosi immediately prone, but it's actually a little bit of help. It's Lucarux who is doing great things for Virtus Pro.
Orca goes down here.
Orca. Oh, that grenade just went a bit too far. It's just a matter if Gen.G's going to be offered the opportunity. No, it's going to be the finish. Tosi's still alive, but Lucarux going to commit every last frag he has. He doesn't get the finish.
VP has stepped away from the western hold. They've sent Beanie over next to Belmont. Full Sense can't find the angles to really get into this circle. Tosi still being a distraction back behind all of this, but VP looks like they're trying to line up another victory for themselves. Tosi was so
holy.
Full Sense denying the other angle. Really, the only thing about it, though, is Full Sense being distracted by this, wanting to go for the kill points on it, has a potential of causing a problem. But if Belmont can hit shots like that, who cares?
Yeah, and he's just found the timing there on Abimi, who had no idea that Belmoth had gotten behind him. So he should just be dead to rights. VP gonna have to sacrifice that player. There's no hope. just got to lock down your fortified positions. Tosi out of this next zone, gonna have to find a way through, but immediately gets lit up by the links from Flash. Shut down. Lucarux trying to respond, trying to do some damage.
Thanadol? Oh wait, Thanadol died, so
Bouncing around from position to position, getting info, doing damage, finding points. He has been so impactful for Virtus Pro, not just in this game, but in the one previous as well.
Yeah, this is a highly mobile, highly efficient VP. They're exploiting
Gen G are doing decent too.
they're exploiting time and time again to get into these positions, to get these wide crossfire angles is absolutely immaculate. This kind of firm separation where they've got Corexy up on top of the building, Nixie playing lower, and even after losing the member that scouted over into the east, Lucarux is playing a bit further away from the squad down into the south to see if they can make sure to deny too much control from Full Sense.
This is now just phase 7.
I think with Falcons getting first or second place, most likely, after all of these are done, including tomorrow, they're going to be pretty much guaranteed into PGC. They already are pretty much, but statistically, I think once they do it tomorrow, then they will.
Maybe leave it there for somebody else, or just, play it out as is.
Flash has been using this hillside to see if he can get something onto VP, but VP has been smartly playing these lower sets in the hill, peeking off and on again, not overextending too much. So Tigger, with the comes in, he has to be very, since is playing with very little control over crevices that are easily capable of exploiting any movement from Full Sense.
Yeah, you're looking for players of VP is, I think that's Lucarux they've got a beat on, but I did see that Nixie did end up going for that MG3, so he's going to have that machine gun. You get on the ground. Now, again, like you said, Flash with the links, 2 bullets left, has to look for that opportune moment to get a VP player that maybe goes for too aggressive of a peak, or just, who knows.
The last game, feels like VP has got himself some boxes that he's playing on it as the new.
Make a move. He actually potentially barreling down on top of you. Luke, see a couple.
This will be the positions and squad. Belmoth trying to lean into positioning, and
Tigger got shot, but now he's back up to full health.
You got to play for the zone. Fall apart a little bit. There is an uphill that they're going to have to. Instead, they've got some really great smokes here. Belmoth with some of his own. Now a few follow-ups to really help him get into position to try to hold down VP's entry angle in towards the center dot.
The way that we've seen that defensive position fall for him is giving them some areas to work with. Virtus Pro has leaned heavily into the east, specifically into Belmoth and Tigger's position, with Flash still playing back behind. Flash doesn't have the clean sight lines that he wants. A lot of smokes down, and Belmoth spots out Lucarux. That's a momentum shift. Now starting to get more vision back into Corexy. Needs collapse right in front of him, but narrowly stays alive. This one goes a bit too far, not going to get the follow-up. So Full Sense still clinging to the momentum off of it. Tigger's creeping up closer and closer by the second. Does VP even know? Finally, it's going to be Belmoth that goes down.
All right, let's see what they can do. Virtus Pro, 2 players versus 2. Flash, I think 1 bullet left in that Lynx. Trying to get a little bit further forward, trying to cut off the VP advancement, but they had a lot of smokes left. In fact, they still have 3. The blue zone is out to clear some space. A rotate here from Full Sense to try to bamboozle, and it works.
We can see Full Sense has control over the dot. It's going to be on VP to fight their way out. Corexy gets the knock. We're down to a 1v1. Jockeying around the smokes. Flash on one side, Corexy on the other. Corexy starting to lean around the smokes. Is he going to spun? He does, and that's going to be a follow-up. VP gets another one.
Damn.
Back-to-back wins for Virtus Pro, and they are shooting up the leaderboards here on day 2. You're, right in the ability to get into contention. You're not in contention yet, but you are starting to flirt with the top of that leaderboard. And, Falcons, Twisted Mind, sure, they're still up there. They've been doing their job. But you've got some real strong, teams coming from the rear of the pack.
It's been a bit of a slide for FaZe today. And they started off pretty strong, but it's just been VP just point sponging everything away from everybody in the lobby. The middle of the pack squads just getting more and more caught up with each other as... if anything, at least demonstrating with VP, hey, you can break away from the pack. It's just a matter of, is there going to be an opportunity that any of these squads that are just playing out of their minds today will present?
Yeah, no, exactly. Oh, God, this
hey.
Wow.
way to the southeast.
Hey, look, VP.
Long finish here. There's some weird stuff.
I'm gonna go grab a snack real
Go
quick.
down there, but
I'll be right back.
kind of wait and see what the next couple circles want to do. And this is a nice start again for VP in terms of having some early prio. 17 could have early prio again. They weren't really able to capitalize on that in the previous game.
I love those.
The cat ears?
The cat ears, man.
Yeah, they're pretty adorable.
Especially the fact that they've got lights on them. So this is where I'm going to grab my stick and I'm going to poke 17 and be like, do something, guys. It's been a bit of a slide. You have inside track to whatever you want, so no excuses in this game. It's just finding a way to make something happen after a squad that's been having some really good international performances, just kind of letting this one slide.
Yeah, sure. I mean, you know, winning PGS 7 earlier this year. Just yet, but it feels like this has got to be kind of one of those moving games for them. And if they're going to make that late surge, it's got to start now. VP has made theirs. They are well and truly in this. I mean, they went from 13th to 3rd in a matter of 2 games.
Yeah. So looking also across this, Volsins, who's been pretty active inside these games, even making the later stages of that last one, lined up against VP. Positioning not showing it. Still holding down 12th, but that's just due to how compressed the leaderboard is, as it's what? Just 5 points will get you all the way up into 9th, and then you have another break point of about 10 points. But you can see it's still very close for these guys, just kind of ranging anywhere from, I would say, VP all the way down to, what, Al-Qadsia?
Yeah, sure. I mean, that's 32 points. That's a chicken dinner plus some,
22
plus
kills.
a couple games. Yeah, plus a couple games of help.
We've seen it before
yeah,
at PGS.
we just saw it with with VP. So for sure, doable. You just gotta string a couple good games together, and then you're right back in the mix. That's what you're looking for. We're hoping to see some of these teams that are down towards the bottom start making their run, start contesting, and you gotta, hope that somehow, some way, Twisted Minds and Falcons start to stumble just a bit. But with the way those two teams have been playing, with the confidence they have, with the kills that they're raking in, no matter what the situation is, it's gonna be tough.
Look, we got Twisted and Falcons both tied up at the top. Give me more of that, because I know it's exciting. A squad that has opportunity ahead of them is going to be FaZe. Let's hear from FaZe.
For these PGSs, we've put in a lot of work and time just trying to improve our game, going through replays of our games, checking spots, just putting in just a ton of work to make it here. I think our biggest obstacle into lifting the trophy would be getting more kills in our games. We've been very good at getting placement points, but we need to get more kills in these games.
Simple.
Brutal honesty, and I agree with it.
Just kill more.
They get into position well, but this is a squad that has a lot of firefighting capabilities that we haven't really seen. Like, when are we going to get the Fex pop-off? It's always brewing. I want it.
Yeah, me too. I mean, I fully agree with him, and kind of hinted at the beginning of the day that FaZe has done a great job of, with the macro. The micro's got to come alive. My only concern
yesterday was good for them, but
yeah.
Just today hasn't been there.
Well, yeah, for sure. But yesterday it was, again, if you look at their placement points, like I think the desk had a pre-show segment about this, that they had all these great placements, but they weren't able to really rake in a ton of kills behind it. So my concern with FaZe is that, okay, you've got that part of your game down. How do you add in the ability to find those kills on top of it? Don't overcommit to some of these third-party pushes or some of these angles and things like that might end up losing you players where normally you would get a little bit deeper into the game. Instead, you kind of overcommit for the kills. That's my only concern.
So here's my question to you. When does FaZe Sunday occur? Because we're dealing with some time zone differences, whenever we look across kind of different regions. Is it like North American FaZe Sunday time, European FaZe Sunday time? Or
well, they're behind all of us. We're on the far other end of the world.
That could make it to where maybe there's a chance that there isn't a FaZe Sunday.
So you're saying there's a chance?
That there isn't a FaZe Sunday? That's like the denial of a chance.
No, I mean, I think just with the new FaZe,
Cantaloupe Vision, very good.
Rock steady, good gameplay that's going to get them places. And if I'm FaZe, I'm mostly doing exactly the same kind of stuff that they've been doing, just occasionally, when it gets towards that late game, then maybe you want to turn it on and look for those third-party opportunities. Maybe look for some ability to control a little bit more high ground in towards those late games, so you can find those moments where you can pivot and go for kills. But
well, it leads into kind of what Claris was making a joke about. You know, like 2025 PUBG, it gets popping off really early, especially given like previous years that could have had a bit of a slower meta. We can see some really big firefights happening in phase 1, 2, and 3 nowadays. And that can lead to a lot more chaos that gets difficult to track if you're not careful.
Oh, yeah. I mean, sometimes those kill feeds go crazy real fast. And
well, a couple of players have talked about it's almost better to be involved in those fights because it makes tracking information a bit easier because you're in the thick of it. If you're one of the squads that's playing edge away and safe and watching it all, sometimes you just can't follow it all the same way. And I've never heard that perspective until this year.
Yeah, especially if you're involved in a skirmish while all of it's going on or something like that. Maybe not a hot and heavy fight, but then it makes it even more difficult to track all that info. So definitely a lot of pressure being put on whoever you put in charge of that for your team. Sometimes it's IGL, sometimes it's not. It kind of depends on the team. But, you know, I saw Purdy Curdy there did pick up a Mark 14 out of a crate, so a nice early pickup for Team Liquid, who desperately needs a good game.
This cantaloupe isn't very good.
Because we keep seeing big moments with Team Liquid. Here's
the strawberry and grapes are.
As the Expendables are roaming just directly into him. Purdy Curdy gets an opening knock onto it. Alo follows up as well. Sparking's roaming around the outside, and there's a follow wins. Alo wants to go for this one, doesn't want to go around too fast. Does finally get that knock at range. Tanvo lines in. Gets just a perfect shot. Alo's got to be careful, and Nate back behind him realizes it, walks into the open, and that's going to be Team Liquid who survives, but does lose Kurt as a casualty.
Okay, that's totally fine here for Team Liquid. They have the ability to get the revive. That is just fine. You win that fight. That is a huge move from Alo there to sidestep that frag grenade and get the kill. And also waiting on that player that went for the drop shot to start standing back up. That's when he re-peeked, got that kill. That was so well played by Alo.
Sparking just providing all the information up on top. We got ourselves an emergency pickup, I believe, and that's going to be Begapa getting yoinked into space, as they're going to have a while before they're probably going to cut those ropes. Maybe around 10 on Garden, but that's kind of open-ish, but that puts you next to Gen G.
Well, that's not where I'd want to be right now, because Gen G has shown nothing but willingness to fight.
I don't want to go anywhere in the circle at this stage. I mean, I guess
you got to go south.
Go Renjong, maybe.
Yeah.
But they have no idea to go there.
No, but that's where Liquid's going to be going to go for their revive. So it is going to be a little bit tricky for Begapa to try to navigate some of this. They might get baited into going Tinlong Garden. Gen G's going to see it, and they might be able to set up some traps potentially. Falcons are going to be north central circle just by Twisted Minds. You'd love to see those two maybe get in a fair fight, see what they can do against each other, as they've been the two best performing teams here so far at PGS 9.
I'm feeling a potential of a bait. This is so far south. There's the temptation, the cut at last minute, try to drop, put your backs up against the zone wall where there can be nobody behind you. But Gen G is so far south, they will see that, and they will be able to destroy it.
Well, there's a lot that could go wrong here for Begapa.
And it feels like that might be what they're thinking. And that
I think they're going to drop it Tinlong.
Think so? Be bold? Just drop in the compound no matter what? Well, with that shift, I guess go for it, right?
Yep, that should be... Well, if they keep going, man, okay, so that compound that Full Sense in is amazing in this circle. It is nigh unbeatable if it gets kept in, but they're actually heading towards 17. There's only two players here? Yeah. They're in vehicles. They're leaving. They don't want to fight this. That's crazy.
Begapa just bullies it. That is incredible for them, as I believe now we have gotten a call coming in from Team Liquid. They should be able to reinforce. Al-Qadsia is kind of watching a couple of these rotates that are going to be happening next to them. So Burram, 4 Angry Men going to be wrapping very close to each other. Gen G just has to step in a bit further. Burram, how far into this do you want to go? Is there a couple of pathing options that could put you closer to Lang?
Wow.
I mean, yeah, it's going to be all she wrote for Kiss. He's going to get dropped out of his vehicle, and there's going to be another firing line opened up from Full Sense. You talked about the strength of this compound. You're starting to see it. It's just, and even being center is a double whammy.
But I don't like just going too far out here. This is okay. Scoop up what you can, but man, oh man, you're flirting with danger here. You can't see what's on the other side of this hill. Yeah, you've got some
his
cover.
ammo.
You've got some cover, but you're playing with fire a bit there. The good news for him is that nobody from Forest is close enough to do anything about it. So he's actually going to be okay. It's risky business, but it does end up paying off.
Just so patient with this. And, I mean, well played on a technical level. Yeah, you did lose one, but, I mean, Kalori's almost turned that back around all by his lonesome. But Halo just reads it so well.
That's so beautiful from Halo. And a nice sidestep there. Again, Revive did come through.
I like how Duck Juice is even smiling in that
He's
situation.
just permanently laughing. Look at this sparking just.
Oh no!
No.
It's fine. He should be resible.
He's fine.
There's nobody over here. It just doesn't feel good whenever that. Well, actually,
does Flame have an angle?
No, the hillside's in the
Oh, he is so lucky.
I got baited by the X-ray for a second.
My head is in my hands. Poor sparking.
That's just kind of telling you what's been going on with Team Liquid on the leaderboard, right? They have good things that are happening. It's just like a weird thing here or there. Yeah,
just putting him in the car like a friend who had a few too many to drink, and you got to bring him home. That's get you somewhere safe, buddy. Get you some water.
It's okay. We'll make it over to the compound in a second. You can take a nap. Find you some coffee and water.
Get you back on your feet in no time. So, okay, not the end of the world there for Liquid, but some early kind of shenanigans, but they've come through it on the other side with all four up regardless, as eArena loves to do a little glider action.
This is a wide split from eArena. This is a full four-man split.
Well, Sungjong is
four-man split
from the rest of his team, and he wisely doesn't commit too much further to that angle, because if he did, 7-7 had him done. Yeah.
So we just saw 17 ramping in closer to full Senses position, as well as Begapa. Xiao Bei has spotted out this rotate from FaZe. He's pretty separated away from the rest of his team as well, at least feeding the information over that, hey, there's a wrap that's going to be coming in. New Circle Pops does lean down the south. You're talking about 10 Long Garden. We still got a section of it that's going to be up, but look, the teams in the north, that's a pretty open section. I wouldn't necessarily call it a field, but it's dicey.
Twisted Minds right in front of Falcons.
You can see how it kind of has all these crazy angles, and that's going to make it really hard to rotate through. Just the hills aren't really hills.
What is going on this game? James just fell to his death too. Things are all kinds of weird in this one for sure. It should be resible, but this is not the stage of the game where you want to have that happen, because this is a circle shift that there isn't a ton that's playable in this circle, actually. There's some really big wide open fields in the middle of it, and those compounds towards the middle are so valuable. Damasty going to be valuable for Buriram. So said out of this one, as some of these teams up on the north that you were talking about with all this congestion, Matt,
yeah.
you have to make a decision here. Do you fight or do you crash?
Did you see what we had going on to the right there? It's a hill, but it's like it's just got dips that are going down. It's a terrace, so that way for farming and everything else. But it makes rotation so crazy. So if you have the map stream open as well, you can see that the north is just covered in them. And if you're rotating down them, yeah, fine. Rotating up them, no way it's going to happen.
Yeah, I've seen this circle a couple times, and basically every time it's the compounds that are in that northern half of this road that are going to be playable. Everything else is pretty garbage. Although, ooh, that's a Opons. Shrimzy on the receiving end this time, and he might just be out. Oh, that follow-up wasn't close enough.
I mean, kick once this one, but it's scary. Molotov's going to be landing.
Into it.
Yeah.
No. He's getting shot by someone else. No!
Thanks, I'll take that one. Falcons, remember this isn't in the safe zone. And guess what? There's more problems because, example, here is this. He's going to be able to backstab anything that the Falcons try to do to get out of this point. VP is also, I think, starting to get some idea on what's going to be happening. So they're trying to see if maybe they can get into position. They might be able to cut out eArena's wrap. 4 Angry Men having to deal with Na'Vi.
Oh, the vehicle's going to blow up, Shen. Don't get too close to it.
Does spot out
Longs went good, aggressive one. Oh my God, he gets another. Unbelievable the day he's having. Xiaolu finds the backstab, but here comes Akatori and company. Akatori lighting him up, doing some decent damage, looking for some more. Saw the frag come out and had the counter angle from Extends to finish the job.
That's the East starting to get a bit more calm back into the
I think Falcons are going to go down here.
With Falcons, now just down to kickstart, but E-Arena, while they're wrapping, trying to see if they can finish this out as fast as they can. They now have to deal with Virtus Pro as well as Twisted. There is an angle for E-Arena to retreat from this if they play into the east, but they have to be careful. While this is going on, Buriram is actually wrapping into the exact same position that we just saw a moment ago, and so that's going to be Na'Vi holding defense.
Yeah, Hakatori wasn't able to get one. Edie shuts him down. Extends was there again for cover fire. You really want to get those points as both teams. You can see they're both really tunneled
Edie
in
for
on
Buriram.
flushes. Hakatori will finally go down to Edie, so Extends doing his best. They do have Fairest in the game as well still, so Na'Vi, 2 players trying to fall back a little bit, maybe find a better angle to try to take this Buriram fight.
There's a lot of high ground advantages that you can play from. Let Buriram have the lower section of it, just be fine. But it looks like Buriram is content to let that sit, so got to be careful. E-Arena did lean more into the west, so that puts them with VP, so that's why you can see Perfectix and taking shots into VP, while E-Arena also dealing with issues. But is the nade going to go down into the cubby? This is going to be hard. You've got to cook it right so it rolls, and yes, does land. Fairest down, extends the last one up. Buriram doesn't have the vision, but the blue zone is going to land right on top of him. Follow-up utility going to be enough. Edie now has the capabilities to path over.
Yeah, there's a fight going on with E-Arena and VP too, but this one right now not looking so good for Na'Vi. That grenade's perfect from Edie, and he's going to claim 2. Beamy on the other side finds 2 of his own with a grenade, bouncing that other one off. It would have gotten Nurens had it gone a little bit closer, I think, but took a funky angle off of that coop.
Here comes Twisted. They sent 2 members over, make it 3. They're trying to pounce, see if they can get some kills with Falcons out. They can have a chance to get some space on the leaderboard. Up on top, it's going to be Example taking the shots, but not getting them to connect the way that they want. Both squads in VP and E-Arena now in a ton of trouble based off the defensive line that Twisted has managed to set up.
Yeah, I don't even know. At this point, both of these teams are actually pretty done.
Yep.
This is going to sound crazy, but I think you're just better off tying to the blue at this point. Don't feed any points over to Twisted Minds if you've reasoned out that that's them that are barreling in on you from the north. Too late. The grenades are good. Example takes down Beamy. Virtus Pro not able to continue their run here. Twisted Minds Example has 3 kills already.
The only benefit for VP is the fact that Twisted is still also eyeing this, seeing if they can hold. Well, actually, they might be fine with letting Nurens just kind of hang out in the blue. We are at phase number 4, so it's going to continue to stack. Wrap, this is not the way you want to go, Alcazia. You're going to be running right up next to Big Above, but Rolo doesn't care. Gets a nice shot as he's roaming. It's going to be Park Bro that spots out the other side of it. But there's also Gen G that's over here taking shots, and Team Liquid could also spot. This is a big firefight with a lot of squads.
Cross goes down. D gets a knock.
Grenade, so it's huge back and forth. Gen G claiming a few players from Alcazia. Sungjang trying to get back behind the tree for some safety. D on the other side, but Sungjang gonna take down Rello, and a good grenade from Tozy. Here comes Gen G.
Gen G can't run in too much. Team
Ash is getting mortars.
Held out by 17, so this has become contained right now just off Gen G. New circle pops, and it moves to the terraces where we can see Full Sense continuing to hold position. Big Appa, after that crazy
Cowboy dead.
Still in the later stages of this, but they
Shangjang, he's dead.
Team Liquid has Gen G on lock, so everybody is kind of stuck. It's remnants of what we just saw in the north.
Yeah, Gen G, though, opting to back off of this fight, saying, okay, we got a few out of this, well, just 1 kill out of it. And actually, they're losing players, scrambling to get back through. Bean gonna get cut down by 7-7, so smoke's already there. Maybe a res available, but Orca's gonna see Forest down below him, making their way in through that valley. Hasn't made his presence known just yet, but this is getting a little bit dicey for Gen G because you've opened up a door for a backstab from Bagel Pa.
You just got to lean into Orca, and Orca is going to provide. Gets knocked, but that draws attention now from Full Sense, who's still running a 2-2 in strong compound position. Forest starting to see if they can aggressively just push
and it's
down
Thanadol from the other side. Oh, he's from the compound.
They can hold for now, but is still going to be vulnerable to Buriram's position.
Yeah, and it's also vulnerable to Gen G as Tosi has Olympus down. Full Sense here. I mean, again, those 2 compounds they have are just so broken in these circles, so they're going to be able to continue, just make life a nightmare. You can see even on the rotation out, Full Sense hitting Gen G in the back. 17 just going to play it quiet out on the edge, but My only concern here for Full Sense is they're still split 2-2. So if somebody opts into a 4-man crash onto one of those compounds, goodbye, Akan. Luke 12 has that Mark 14 and puts it to good use. Sungjong, what can you do from here? He still has a ton of first aids, though.
It's going to be Forrest going down due to a reposition from Edie. Team Liquid's doing a good job on being just loud enough to be scary so that way nobody comes after him. Gen G has this path down that they can look for. 17 spotted out that position that we saw FaZe had to stop at earlier after the knock. Gustav just runs right up into their face. He's got a ton of ammo, but he's going to go down. Jeem's the last one up. He's going to get eliminated. 17 finds a way to stay surviving over here, but they've got to be careful. Actually, Nurens is still alive and creeping in back behind them. Does he want to take shots, or does he just want to use them as meat shields?
That's a good question. He's not able to find that flush onto the knock. Because actually, Batulin's gotten involved in that fight too from Twisted. Gen G back up to 4. Somehow, some way. I don't know how they got these reses. I thought they were going to hemorrhage a player or two in that. Even get a P90 to boot in all of this chaos. So again, Full Sense still in a pretty big split, but you've got a bunch of teams that are now going to make their way through Gen G right in front of Buriram, and they're going to stop up and take this fight.
I'm not surprised. You stop before you see the car wreckage in front of you. Be like, I feel like somebody threw a nade into that, and I don't want to get involved. Lean a bit further south of it. Buriram doesn't have the throwable range for that just quite yet. Well, really the angle for it that's going to feel good. Circle actually leans more into Full Sense in 17, so everybody that's been fighting the south going to continue to have to do it. Buriram sitting at 7 kills with just 2 alive, has Full Sense to the north, and oh, is this going to be support? And
oh, there's a replay. Replay.
Where did this go?
This is on to FaZe.
Yeah, I know, but this is how they finished off FaZe. Gotcha.
Well, they didn't finish them off. They just got some kills. Yeah, so, I mean, Full Sense is taking full advantage of their opportunity here in this game with all the abilities given to them. And now, some good grenades from Gen G. Ruse did get one, but Gen G playing gatekeep and doing a great job of it. Gonna run in, scoop up some of that extra utility from their fallen opponents. 17 now getting crashed, potentially by Twisted.
This is just a bold play using this small dip in the hill. Nade's going to try to be bounced off the backboard. Good bounce onto it. Goes, I think, a bit. No, actually does connect onto Xiaowu. I thought it might have gone a bit too far. 17, they've got this hillside that's going to provide some cover, and Twisted didn't have any options. They've just got a hard send in. Xiaobei has a sneaky angle, connects onto one. It's just him and Little Ghost left. Perfectix trying to just run his way in. Queet, that was a crazy seat swap. Just bully his way in.
That was beautiful. Use that nice.
Orca and Batu are getting points right now. Let's go.
Beautifully thought out by Twisted Minds. Now they're all alone on that western side. That is devastating for 17 Gaming. They maybe could have gotten a little bit further in this game. Maybe accrued a few more points. Instead, the rich get richer. Twisted Minds going to be able to get their revives. Here we go.
I only know that I do all of that at the same time when I'm trying to like go through. Wording is so hard when you're trying to cast.
The assault that came after them. Gen G still sitting at 4.
It's almost like I need to like sit here and just practice it, you know?
They don't have a lot of good ways to navigate this circle. So while Full Sense has the compound, they have 2 different squads, and Team Liquid and Gen G both looking after them. Should point out, though, this has at least been some type of rally for Team Liquid at the bottom of the leaderboard.
No, it is the best game we've seen from them, really, throughout this entire grand finals. But my big key right now for Gen G is you've got to deal with Twisted. You've got to find a way to barricade them from another circle, but they don't really have good options. Instead, they're going to try to crash through here. There's a ton of players still left over.
This is very, very bold. Runs right in between the 2 duos. That puts him in an outnumbered situation. Orca just runs in, feeling himself. Quick exchange. Orca does take down Luke, but Luke takes down Tosi. Following, it's going to be also Kurt coming alive in a big moment for his squad. Spots it out, but Flame is going to be able to get enough. Here comes Full Sense back behind it. Tigger tries to come up with the way the cars have connected in. Full Sense does not have the angles to work with. Twisted realizes the opportunity. They wrap around. They're trying to get circled.
Twisted get the win here.
Bean doing a nice job there, holding the line against Tanadol. Just down to Tigger for Full Sense. Bean slides back, wants to get that heal through. Flame trying to use that grenade to buy themselves a little bit of time and space, but this is a golden opportunity.
Orca went down.
To separate themselves from the Falcons on the leaderboard.
This is great. This gives them control over the circle. Tigger is now trapped. Gen G making this move was a catalyst to unlock the way that they wanted to get across this, which they thought would be way too vulnerable from these compounds. Now, just 2 members for Gen G down the south, outside of the safe zone.
I mean, if Gen G gets a win here somehow, they're gonna be right up there towards the top of the leader, towards the 2 top teams.
You can try to crash, but this is dangerous against a player of Tigger's caliber.
They managed to steal it, at least get right up into his face. One member, Flame's just going to be patient with it, but here comes Perfectix. This is the problem. Too many angles onto the side of this. Tigger's trying to stay alive, gets good angle as Beam does go down, but Tigger took a lot of damage. Perfectix on the outside. Gen G does get eliminated. Now it's just Tigger. Sure, Twisted doesn't have to go for this compound, but now they kind of want to.
Yeah, and it's a grenade from Example that finishes the job. What a nice win for Twisted.
I love that he has his sweatshirt on like that. It actually seems kind of comfortable.
Fight they took against 17 was the winning move,
and that's with the Falcons going down pretty early.
Collectively start stopping them, nobody's going to be able to.
Oh, you say 30 to 20 points to second is still absolutely bananas for us to be only in match 10. And the problem is they're playing unstoppably. They're playing really well as a unit, and now they have so much padding that they don't have to worry about anything that they do as long as 4 earlier.
Yeah,
Till Falcons responds with a game right here.
Yep.
And Gen G's
That's what I'm trying to call forth. I know the games have already happened, but
so much attention back behind
Falcons military.
Up into a corner where they couldn't really get out unless Gen G made that one move.
Yep. So there's like a bunch of like domino effect things that happen in that game that open the door for Twisted. And you can't give them those opportunities.
But it all starts with full sense and 2-2 split.
It does. So I did that circle many times.
Yeah.
And if you're in full sense's position and you just lock down that compound that it shifted onto, the one where Tigger is in at the very end, if you just lock that down, you win that game. You just do, unless you do something really wild. But because you can control everything to the north. If you look at that circle again, you can see everything that's out there. You have full control over all of that.
And it's Burr Ramen the Expendables, so of course it's getting pretty loud with the players.
It's just like a square dance there. You're just kind of on.
Do-si-do.
Yeah, a little.
Spin your partner around and around.
Spin your partner around and around. Did you ever have to do that in like?
Did I have to?
Yeah. So in my like physical education classes when I was growing up, we had to do square dancing. I'm not even kidding.
You do realize that, again, I told you that I grew up in an area that was 20 minutes away from the nearest
So I assume you did it too.
Like, every single Friday was going over to one of the neighbors' barns to play country music, dance, and play dominoes.
Perfect. So you know what it's all about. You've lived that square dance.
The accent that I have now is not the accent that I had back then. Let's just say it that way.
What do you mean? Nothing crazy here to begin with, it looks like.
Yeah, just chill.
I think we're chill.
Center, I mean, just about as center circle as you can get. Everybody's drops are pretty clean. This is just basic Erangel. Nothing crazy coming out yet. Falcons did opt into going to Military Base Island. They have Irina that's going to be next to them. Gen G is still holding down Crossroads gas station on the western bridge. Bay is on the eastern bridge. Al-Qadsia winning more of my heart by going up next to Zarki. Always love to see that area get some attention.
Me too.
It's the most unloved section of this map.
It really is.
It's because that stupid George Pool Bay.
I know. If it wasn't for that bay, we'd get a few more Zarki circles maybe, but it is what it is, I suppose, as VP.
Maybe. I doubt it.
Nice day into 4th.
A crazy day.
Absolutely insane, as we do have an interview with them. Let's see what they have to say about this amazing run.
Hello, I am Lisa. I'm here with Nixie from Virtus Pro. So actually with the first back-to-back chicken dinner in PGS 9, you guys did a good job. So can you walk us through the final circle fights against Full Sense and Tegel? Like, what was the communication between you and Kersey and the other teammates?
I mean, in that final zone, we kind of knew that we had a better zone than them. So we just knew that we had to kind of like take a fight on the right side, because we knew there was only one guy on the right, so we were kind of putting smokes on the left, make sure that we take like a 3-1 fight on the right side. Kind of made a mistake by losing Luca, because I said I'm gonna hold one side, and then I don't think he kind of catch it, but Corexy managed to clutch. So yeah, we're all happy about it. So
yeah, you got it the chicken dinner, and it's a good, very clear information for you, and also a good strategy and good to play. All right, we're back to the game.
The best laid plans of mice and men hold together until Corexy manages to clutch whatever he needs to do.
That's right. Just Corexy's hands. He's good for it.
He's fine. I mean, we've been seeing a lot of VP members popping off. It's like you can't really hold anybody back on this one. It has been just a team effort across that squad.
Yeah, I mean, coming into today, like a lot of us, you know, back in the green room, you know, analysts, casters, all of us were like, man, VP probably could have a good day. Like, it feels like they're a team that should be able to kind of pick up the pace a bit. Navi, as we saw, started out with that kind of like one of those teams that we were like, man, they should be doing a little bit better than they are. So a lot of the EMEA teams that we had a lot of confidence, a lot of faith in, able to really do exactly what we were hoping for, what we were expecting. Also want to give a quick shout out to Gen G, who somehow, some way fought their way up to 3rd place right now. Just
oh no!
Well, you could get up there and drive it off. It's K. It's K.
Planned.
It's K. It's K.
Everything's okay.
No problems. No, just don't screw it up when you're
It's
driving.
okay.
Oh my God! Could you imagine if you just nosedive it and it gets stuck again?
Yes, I
Then
can.
you just gotta slam it in.
Because I've done it. I've had this situation, and I did not execute, which I assume Clories is going to figure it out. What is your plan here, bud?
Oh, it's okay. It's okay. You get it set up. It wasn't the way he wanted it.
Careful.
Just avoid the boxes in front. Be patient. I like how he goes to the other side.
Don't screw it up.
Again.
Nice. Well done. Well done.
Nobody saw it. Everything's fine. Opons, that's not the start that you want.
Uh-oh.
I was caught up looking at BRDM stuff.
I know.
I don't even know what happened here.
I just missed the kill feed. I was like...
I'm going to take a wild assumption and say FaZe.
That seems to be the likely culprit, eh?
I mean...
Eh?
Sure. Yep, Vex looks like he's going to be able to spot this one pretty easy. Nurens could take some shots at him, but down guy in a essentially in a field along the beach, you know, how do you defend that?
Yeah, good news is that's actually revivable. It should be. I don't think FaZe is going to, like, really camp that. They're like, we got our point. You guys go ahead and waste your time going for revives.
So if you ever wanted to know if we were in the middle of a centered meta, yes. Yes, we are. As there is everyone in their dog chilling in the center of the circle. It's pretty brutal. Almost everything has been taken along the center line, but there's still
Navia back up on Potato.
I wouldn't be too concerned. Navi pretty much holding down the top of Potato. They've got the centerist of the spots, I would say, with 4 Angry Men pretty close to them, Gen G down to the south, 2-2 split from 17 over into the west on the north and eastern sides of Pachinki. Buram actually going into Pachinki itself, Twist running a 2-2 split up into the north, playing along the road, and then 4 Angry Men kind of spattered over to the east of them with VP to the west of Twist.
Oh, yo, Vard. Oh, Vard. Doing them dirty. Dang, man. That is really nice shooting.
Easy for Vard.
Yeah.
You could say not hard for Vard.
Not hard for Vard. We go hard for Vard, but yeah, things are not hard for him because he's just that good. Red zone, just putting everybody indoors. You're just hoping to keep these vehicles safe from it. As Virtus Pro looks like they should be okay, as it does
not hard for Vard. They're trying to become a bard.
Navi grabbed some level 3 gear. There was a DBS in it, but they didn't need it because it's way too early for a DBS. Kickstart going to be grabbing the glider, something we've been seeing from the Falcons quite a bit more in recent memory, as they are wanting to get that info and try to scale off of that when they're outside looking in.
Reminder that they did drop into the main section of military base, so should be pretty looted. No rush coming out as FaZe has kind of surrendered any form of bridge camp potential that could happen. There's the res that you were talking about. Easy enough to pick off. Mill to power. This is around where E-Arena was already rotating to, so should be fine. There's not a team west of them until we get to Navi. So, 2 kilometers? They've even got some area up into the north if they wrap around prison, so I wouldn't be too worried for them. Al-Qadsia do have a red zone, and given the way that luck has been favoring them, I would be a bit cautious, Al-Qadsia.
Yeah, I'd get out of that ASAP. Don't want to mess with it. One of our later rotating teams here is going to be Bago Pa, as they are going in towards the northeast.
The fact that Al-Qadsia and Team Liquid are the very bottom of the leaderboard really sucks.
Hills, I suppose, as the J compound is only locked down by 1 player of 4 AM. I wouldn't... Oh, how? How, Xiaobei?
Give us more of that. 17. I don't know where that has been, but you still got the aim.
You need it.
Keep asserting that influence. Remember that 17 is also in a 2-2 split, so this is just territory control. They're not going to do anything other than just get their knocks or whatever they want out of it. Buriram still has 2 members, again, that are going to be inside of Pochinki itself, as Opans is making his entrance back into the game.
Ooh.
Yay, welcome back, Opans.
Yay. Now, I mean, as far as, like, revives go, this is like one of the least bothersome for a team like Arena that was going to be on the edge anyway. Yeah. It almost is a non-factor except you give a point to FaZe. Like that's the only thing that you maybe are bothered by in this situation.
The only potential issue of it is how are you going to regroup? Opans is going to be dropping north of the river itself, so he's going to maybe go along Yasnaya. Team Liquid running a very wide 2-2 split. We've seen them do this a couple of times where they hold the top of Everest with 2 and then kind of roam around with the other ones down to the south.
Yep, that's kind of a classic PUBG maneuver. Just going up to the mountain and
hints of Batulans on high ground. Absolutely. Getting information, right?
Absolutely. Kurt.
Oh, bye, Belmoth.
Hello? What is going on? These shots on the drive-bys have been cracked.
This was the squad that just got shot while they were trying to roam in. There goes Belmont's car, being a bit of a problem for the rest of FS, but with the new circle pop, it has leaned pretty far east. And remember that everybody was playing highly centered, so with this hard shift, the east is entirely open.
This is as far east as you can go, basically. That is punishing those poor teams that went for that early center circle. As we get a lot more ping-ponging again here at PGS 9. VP right by Twisted Minds. Perfectix got out of his car, but he got headshot. He is donezo. Beamy gonna drive right by with Nixie to try to finish him off. Smoke is there, but they'll just run in it. They should be able to find him. Yes, indeed. Back by the trunk. And into the lobby goes Perfectix for now. My question is does Twisted wait around to try to go for the revive? They can. Oh, but no. Oh, Batulans.
Yeah, that's... Okay, well, they've got 108 on the leaderboard, 2 down early. We know that Twisted can rally, so that's not necessarily
made it past the 10-minute mark.
That's not the start that they wanted. FS going to be sending it right down into the tempo dip. Vegapá had their eyes on it. They've got a BRDM, but instead
did say at the beginning of this one that Falcon was just going to bring it right back in.
Right on top of all of this.
This is so scary right now for Full Sense. This is not where you want to be when a red zone is coming into play. That's going to be Flame going down real early, trying to do a little bit of scouting for Gen G and just drove into Buriram, who had moved out of the Pochinki fields and right into a nice position on the backside of Gen G. That's a bit of a fumble for Gen G. They're going to be kicking themselves. Don't want to lose a player this early in the game, especially against a team that wants to get aggressive, wants to fight, wants to have those 4 players for those setups. This time around, not going to be the case. Bean does have a bolt again. Remember what he did yesterday with that bolt. He was absolutely wrecking people.
This is kind of leaning along Death Road as FaZe is going to take down the other side, opposing Gen G in the lower sections of it. So Gen G holding down center of Death Road. It's going to be Buriram to the west. 17 has taken over the potato part of Potato Hillside. Na'Vi has kind of moved a bit more into the east. The Expendables, with their hard-fought, or I guess hard-climbed-for BRDM, going to continue kind of pushing in back behind FaZe. E-Arena is going to get the new red zone dropped onto them to the east, while we're going to be pretty close to them. Al-Qadsia running a 2-1-1 of their own for control. Team Liquid coming in. They've got a path up into the north, but they're going to be lined up right up against the blue zone. No big rush for them, as Opans looks like he's trying to just regroup with E-Arena in the red zone.
Yeah, this is pretty nice for E-Arena. You're able to get the loot for Opans, get him back grouped up. You're able to wrap up a little bit towards the east. And,
found himself a car, too. That's a big...
Yeah, this is all coming up E-Arena right now.
Well,
I mean...
as best as it could be.
Exactly. As far as the circumstances of what happened initially, beyond that, not too bad.
Cursed red zone explosion. No, just
tried. I appreciate the attempt. You don't have the magic powers, though.
I don't. Everybody always says I cast to curse people, but you can see I don't have the powers. I wanted it right there. I was going to use my powers for evil on top.
What do you reckon gives you the evil powers? What can you do?
Nothing. I have no caster curse.
So you're just completely you're a muggle.
The closest that I can say is like, oh, that guy survived and then he gets shot in the head. That's the worst I can do whenever he's the last person up. But that's not even my fault because you lost 3 people before I even said it. So
Satchram the Muggle. I got it.
Oh yeah, there we go. That'd be my life in the Harry Potter world. So up to the northwest
Muggle.
we go. It's going to be FaZe, E-Arena, Al-Qadzir regrouping, and Team Liquid on the outskirts.
You know, there's some tough rotations that got to be made. And this is into a decently playable part of the map, though. There's some trees, there's some hills, there's some forests. Definitely not the worst part of Erangel, to say the least. So it should be a pretty fun one.
You can say that there's 4 forests in it.
You're not wrong.
It's just on point.
Touch today, though. I will say that. You've had a couple good ones.
I'm trying today.
Yeah.
This VP has wrapped around the Weak and Twisted, who went back to Apps with their 2 members up. Here's the E-Arena wrap. They're actually going very far back into the north. I guess, hey, nobody shot at Opons and he didn't die, so this is the way to go, right?
I don't know what they're going to do. They got to be real careful because there's a couple rotation paths they can take here that are going to run them into teams that have pretty good setups. Hilariously enough, the best wrap I can actually see for them right now is crashing J Compound where VP is set up. 4AM left a while ago, and now VP's taking up residence. The Expendables are doing Expendables things and looking for some opportunity to pick a fight with somebody. 17 might be on the receiving end of it if they keep going up Potato, but they're actually looking to take that path that runs kind of that safe ridge that's on the northern side of Potato Mountain, it seems like. I mean, 17 will see it. Oh, that's actually a nice shot from Xiaowu, but only gets the 1 tap in.
BRDM going to be tailing back behind this one. 17 still going to hold on to Potato for the time being. VP maybe could take shots at what could be happening. FaZe going to go ahead and opt right in after D. This is going to be hard to defend multiple members. James, yes, down, but the rest of Al-Qadzir rolling in. Is it going to be enough time? Vard going to take down D. Should be able to flush him. Does the rest of Al-Qadzir? They commit, but the timing is bad. Gustav looks right into their direction. That's going to be Fex also finding Rel.
Cowboy, last one up.
Problems continue to mount for Al-Qadzir.
Okay, this grenade could be a bit of a difference maker. Oh, Fex
A little bit too high.
Only takes a scrape of damage. Actually gets hit on the way into the door as well, but doesn't get knocked. You do have 1 knock for FaZe. Gustav connects on a nice headshot at range with the rifle. So that's going to put Cowboy back behind the crate to try to go for the heal. It does end up flushing James.
Okay, Cowboy, you're pretty isolated. Safe-ish, but right up against the zone. Only all of FaZe right next to you. It's fine.
I don't think it's really safe-ish.
Isolated fights, nothing to worry about really. Just continue to live your best life. At least it's isolated and full sense can't do too much because they're being pinned down. Circle does lean a bit north of center.
Yeah, that's going to be 4AM centered. That was a late stun from D, actually. He heard the players coming and tried to time it, but they just barreled right through. Took him down too quick. Oh my goodness, Cowboy. Playing with fire. Oh, that's I thought that one's good. That one's good.
Damn.
Dude, Al-Qadzir has just had a day. 2 members feeling not too good. Been sliding down the leaderboard, and on top of that, their coach tripped going down the stairs and had to go to the emergency room, as it has just been one of those days.
It has been a no good, awful day for Al-Qadzir. That is for sure. 17 driving on through. The Expendables actually had to stop up for whatever reason underneath 17. So opened up a door here for 17 to rotate ahead of the Expendables. There is some dips over here. This is kind of the I like to call this a Godby dip because of how much he loved this thing, but it is a little bit treacherous. You're going to see the car forts have to be set up. They're getting lit up by a couple different teams. It's actually Na'Vi from up on Potato that's doing the majority of the damage here. You have to set up a drive-through. Gustav! Guyon ran his teammate over when he got out of the car. Gustav finally taken down.
Car went a bit too wide, could be used for cover. FS also hears this. Remember, they were playing the bit further section down to the south. Rest of FaZe actually rotating closer in. E-Arena.
Where are you going?
What do you want? I guess you want Team Liquid. Team Liquid trying to defend. They're taking the shots. Car gonna get taken down. Opons can't find it. Good defense for Team Liquid.
Alo going for the just the thirstiest long-range shots, but it's okay.
Dude, every point matters in their position.
Hey, yeah. They're claiming it. I like it. Might as well just put that links to use while you can. Nuren's on a sliver of HP, holding on, but Olympus has the sawed-off. Yeah, one way or another, he was dead.
I see mortars flying off in the distance. I don't know where they're going, but it's popping off in a lot of different places. Forest trying to defend their points. Megapud does get eliminated. E-Arena still just trying to survive on the tethers and the hint of life that they've got up against the blue zone. They could bump into Forest, who's been doing a good job of really controlling point. Center line in right now is going to be 4 Angry Men. Na'Vi having to deal with a lot of contenders, most notably in Buriram, that has been roaming around this area. 2 members now down, but it looks like Na'Vi is trying to take the time to rest. Is Damasty going to let him have it? He could peek that side, but is the timing going to be there for him? Doesn't look like it. Oh, now he spots it.
Oh my goodness, Twisted is angling in this direction as well, but Damasty takes down Fairest. Now Khan hungry for more, but there's a molly there to slow him up. He walks into it anyway. It's going to take a bunch of damage for that. Oh, and here comes Tosi from Gen G. Everybody wants a piece of this fight.
Buriram on the outskirts. Unfortunately, the way Twisted's coming in after this, it's going to be more favorable for going after the defenders. So easy pickups on the outside of this one. For Twisted, new circle is popped and goes right up on top. 4 Angry Men. This
That's a good nade onto Khan. No.
Still continuing to punch around the outside of it. Doesn't have vision on.
Oh, Khan backed off.
Still having to be careful of Tosi's position, but not clean sight lines. Edie, rest of the squad now just starting to get up on top of this point, saying, "Hey, okay, you can just play down below us." But any peaks that go up and further enough around this one, Twisted is going to spot.
For sure. And I'm really concerned for both of these teams that are up here, because Twisted is being extremely cautious and patient. Tosi could have a role to play in all this. Buriram might just say, well, we did what we could. Another bolt-action rifle for Team Liquid. It's sparking with an AWM. Tosi done. Driven into by Buriram and can't even find a knock before his life is claimed. So still Twisted and Na'Vi 2 up each up out on top of this.
Team Liquid actually finding some kills, up to 4 right now. That puts them up into 15th place over Al-Qadsia. They also have vision on what's going on with 17 FS, who's been finding some kills. Got to be careful. They're roaming more into the north. Twisted
Liquid starting to pop off.
Of this point, but remember, it's not inside the safe zone, so I feel like this is just Twisted trying to make sure that nobody can backstab them as they make their way into the safe zone.
Well, they just want to take whatever they can here on the edge. Whatever points they can find. Going to be a little bit awkward. Extends with an ace there. You got a couple. Oh, these grenades are really, really nice.
Of course, they're going to roll right into where they're supposed to go. 4 Angry Men at range. Looked like they were trying to supervise some of this, but not really being able to get too much out of it, so they can't stop the roll of Team Liquid. Eyeing 17, they don't want to go too hot and heavy with it, so instead, just go ahead and continue to rain down the damage. Blue zone going to be chunking down Jiawu, and that's going to be enough. Alo picking up a lot of it. Pathing should be fine for Team Liquid, as now 4 Angry Men get some vision, as well as Forest to make it a bit scary. Lou has gone down, as it's just going to be example, the last one up for Twisted Minds.
The knock on a Sosa there from forever away. It wasn't even Twisted Minds, it's Falcons, I think, that gets that. Lou should be resable, it looks like. Buriram hasn't moved a muscle. Falcons are looming on the outside of this. They are going to claim the point for Sosa.
Avi wants this.
Extends his, he knows that they're going for the res.
Oh, the timing was just the absolute worst, though.
Damn.
Just about a half second too late. Lyrics trapped way outside right now, as FS going to be down to the south of them. Forest still just continuing to hold it. I gotta say, Forest has been kind of back and forth today. There is an opportunity for them playing this position, but they've got to be careful. Team Liquid starting to get vision, and they are hungry, man. Team Liquid needs points, and they want to see how much they can slurp up from everybody that's fighting in the open.
Yeah, if you can get a knock here from
They're up into 13th already.
Open the door for another
6 kills.
It's likely you're going to have to make one as Team Liquid unless there's another hard shift in the circle department. Let's see where we land.
They're ready for it.
Actually, they're still in it, so this is pretty nice. The hard shift does favor them and Forest a bit. 4AM might have to play a little bit of defense, but likely a lot of the team's going to get funneled to stuff around them unless somebody gets a crazy idea.
No. You look down there, you're like, oh, that's a squad with a BRDM, and there's 2 of us. What do we do about that one? We've got a tree. They have a BRDM. Okay, so we've got Buriram that's going to be to the east. Yeah, I mean, a good headshot could open up some options. Falcons also have to make a rotate, and they need a lot of points, as it is going to be Twisted with their 2 members still up at 111. Falcons behind that. Remember that Team Liquid was looking at Forest. There's just 3 points separating them out, but Team Liquid kind of more caught up on what's going to be going on. VP still alive, who's been having just a nutty day.
Love what Falcons is doing here. I was just thinking this. You got to rotate the other way. You can't go towards 4 AM compound. You got to try to make a go of it on the other side. Flash gets H-Win. Tiggleton takes some damage. Flash gonna back up, look for the grenade, maybe thinking about the point, thinks better of it momentarily, just says, well, I've got a BRDM, let's get in this.
Here's the problem. We've got Burram. They had the exact same idea. They're wrapping right in behind Falcons. FS has slowed down just enough of what the Falcons were trying to do, and Falcons realize they're getting pinched. They have to spin back around. They have to take care of points on 2 different sides. Debasti jumps out, goes for an easy spray. It's the Falcons just absolutely getting destroyed over here. The idea was good, and Burram was just a second behind with it. FS holding down the line enough. It's going to be enough, but Shrimzy, can you turn it? Can you find something? No! He's going to go down. Follow-up nades now coming up from FS. Tigger gets a big one.
That is huge for Volsense. Oh, Edie, he actually wins that battle. Flash goes for the run over, can't get him. Edie's just dancing, happy feet, trying to stay alive, looking for the point. Flash is trying to block him from claiming his teammate's life. 2 messes in, he stole it. He's in it, but the blue zone. Oh my God.
He rolls it away though.
You're gonna go for it. You're gonna have to eat some blue zone damage to get that BRDM back. But guess what? It's not over, Flash. You have to deal with Twisted rolling through right up next to him. Does get enough damage to finish it off. Twisted with a path into the circle.
And of course,
that's ridiculous.
Plays it just a little bit safer. Everybody else feels the pressure to commit to something, and they're going to get further into this game. They're going to continue to expand on their lead over the Falcons, over the rest of this lobby. Team Liquid under pressure, under a barrage from Forest, trying to respond with some grenades of their own. So far, no knocks either way. Kiss dangerously low, and Luke's grenade is right on the money. Sparking there, trying to play a little bit of point position with that level 3 armor that he has. You've got it for Alo too, so you got a lot of ability here for Team Liquid to win some straight up fights, potentially
Kisses.
that armor advantage.
Dead.
The longer you let Team Liquid hang out next to you, it's just a matter of time before the throwables start to connect. Still having 3 members up, have to be a bit cautious. C4 had an idea, but really Forest wants nothing to do with that idea. They're just gonna...
Sparking's gonna take some damage from that.
The 2 members for Forest have gone over into the east. Looks like they're kind of defending up from the potential of where Twisted's gonna be coming from. Sure, 4 Angry Men still got the compound. Doesn't feel the best. Scappy does get the knock onto Lou, so Twisted gonna be able to maybe get that res. I think there should be enough cover. Yeah, hey, look, I mean, a US on top of a rock, that's a ton of cover. It doesn't matter that it might explode at any given second. It's fine. It'll flip over you.
What could go wrong? Yeah, exactly. It'll just backflip away. Team Liquid is still putting the pressure down, but smokes are out. VP, who had a C4 kill onto the Expendables that we didn't get to see on screen. A 1-for-1 so far. Shen for Correctzy, Luker.
VP's trying to get into this fight.
All of a sudden, 4 AM in a numbers
for the top.
Maybe trying to do what they can to take this fight. It's actually a 2-for-2 as VP had lost a player earlier. Beamy looking for the bull.
Lukerux reads it. Good shots from Lukerux. 4 Angry Men just getting dismantled piece by piece. There has been a cost for VP. Can they at least get over there to get the res onto Correczy? Does look like it. Lou just trying to make his way back over to provide the support. Nade from Shin. Is it going to connect? Does go along the line, but doesn't hit the way that they want. I did see a Panzerfaust in. Did that Molotov hit? Yeah, Lou's in a bit of trouble. He has to retreat from the window.
Oh, that grenade there, at least going to claim a Tungmu's life. Lou didn't take enough damage that it stopped him up just yet. That Panzerfaust may be the difference maker. I'm sure it's in the back of VP's mind that with them holding this compound, but Luka runs in there. Sawed off, working wonders. Just one more player to go.
Oh, but if they double up, pushing up this stairwell, it could be a massive problem. Does take the shot! Lou instantly stops VP in the tracks, holding it for long enough, and I'm curious. The Molotov that connected forced him away. He wanted to try to Panzerfaust down, and he had to hold it to go for heals instead.
Yeah.
That might have been what turned it around, but Forest now lined up against Team Liquid, and Lou in the compound by his lonesome.
Scappy on the backside finds Sparking, so that anchor position
paying
dividends for Forest. Alo throwing some stuns, hoping that he can try to get some damage done against this front line that Forest has created. they're flirting with trying to push over as well. They're still worried about Xiaolu up on the other side. Xiaolu seems content to just hold this down for now, looking over as best as he can safely. This looks like a pretty solid game here. Forest could get through on a chicken dinner, especially with shots like that.
11th and 12th lined up against each other. Now it's just a matter of momentum for Forest. Goes chasing after Alo. Alo does spot the attempt at a rotate in the vehicle. Scappy in some trouble. Two members now running right up into his face. Flashes, I believe, connect, so that should be a pretty clean pickup. Lou, realizing that there was an opportunity to maybe backstab a moment too late, doesn't get the knock onto Olympus. Now just a 3v1 as Forest knows where the last member is. Baron, Olympus holding one side of it, Scappy on the other.
This should be Forest game for sure. Right in the side, yep. Scappy's got him. And that is going to be a chicken dinner for Forest. A nice comeback here for this squad. So good on this map for so long. Generally, I like the way 17 approaches this map. They're so good out in the open in the team fights.
Brooklyn Bean, apparently.
No matter what map it is, it has not been their day. So we get a look here at the map. See where the circle says northwest. Okay, a little bit of the north in there, but looks like it's gonna lean south eventually. Maybe we get Everest finish, the best possible Erangel finish.
That would be good for Team Liquid, who has an inside track for.
Did you, DJ? I am like so tired. I don't know. I'm probably not going to play any Pokemon today either. I'm probably literally just going to watch this last one, and then I might possibly even take a nap or something. I feel like I've been sleeping fine, but at the same time, I just like am so pooped.
That we very well know they're capable of rattling off, but
it just goes back to what we're talking about. They're such a great team, but the consistency just, they can't find it yet. And if they do, man, that is going to be a terrifying team.
No doubt. I mean,
I definitely had a much better
towards PGS 10 and PGC as a threat. No doubt about it in my mind that they should be in the mix.
Could have been better. Yeah.
As well, you're kind of starting to feel like these guys have just been pretty steady this year, and maybe they're one of those teams.
Alcadzia had an absolutely awful day. And apparently, the coach tripped on the stairs and ended up having to go to the ER and everything too. From what I heard them say.
I mean, Team Liquid, if they have a big game, they can step into that same arena where we can see it's a quick rise. When we look from 5th all the way down to 11th place, just a game can flip this, depending on how all the other teams around you play.
Yeah,
that's
position matters, of course. Like you want to get those, that extra money.
That's quite something.
It's Team Liquid doing what we expect, getting up on this mountain and probably try to lock it down for as long as they can be a little bit tricky. Sometimes other teams decide that they also want to try to be kings of the mountain and will contest you up there to the Expendables. Delwyn, but I don't know for sure if he's going to go up there or not. Looks like he was just considering a little bit of a drive-by, seeing if maybe there were any shots that come through. Now, you have an opportunity here to at least pop tires as Sparking, and that is exactly what he's going to go for. So Delwyn, realizing that, says, okay, we need to keep the tires healthy on this US, so let's scoot it on in behind the house, make sure that it's okay. Tangu actually hit a headshot there onto Sparking from range, so that's going to back them off momentarily. Delwyn going to do what he can to keep the rest of the tires safe on the Dacia. It's full sense as a pretty big split middle of the fields. And again, you're going to expect a lot of teams to lean south on this one, but it still could go north.
The river being the line of demarcation that most of our teams are playing from, you're talking about almost everybody down to the south, just Begapa in the north. And I mean, kind of Forest, but they're just holding one of the bridge sides, where the quads are at. So that's just an expectable rotation coming out from them. 17 roaming around in a very, again, centered meta, so you're feeling kind of good over here for now, but you got VP one side, the Expendables on the other, and Gen G to the south. If you're a 17 fan, that's not feeling too good in 15th place.
No, this is feeling scary. Like, the closer 17 gets to the Expendables,
it's like they can feel it. Look how slow they're roaming. Like, this feels
someone's
bad.
there. Yeah.
This feels really, really bad.
It's like the worst team I'd want to go up against in that spot, too, is the Expendables. They are so annoying in when they're in a compound, I just feel like the Expendables are almost unbeatable. Like they are just so sturdy.
You kind of hit it on the head, right? The kryptonite of the Expendables is they roam so much in stages. If they get into a compound that's
You didn't watch the end of the last game?
They're used
Fair
to
enough.
in the middle of a field, wide out in the open, with 3 different teams shooting at them and still taking down your squad.
Yeah, they're so good in those situations. As much as you talk about the Expendables as being a team that's happy to go out and do exactly what
I definitely messed up my fantasy team.
Of the teams that are ahead of them.
Because I changed around my fantasy team and then forgot to save it in day 2. Kind of sad about it.
There's not much. Oh, a Tongmu though at range
So,
provides some support.
well.
See the peak come around. Longs hold on one side. Doesn't get the follow up. It was close. The Tongmu though is here. The hero has arrived to try to provide something for his squad. Can he manage to polish off these kills? Khan in some trouble at half health.
I don't know. I think it's just like a point where the mid pack will move around, but it's really all gonna come down to tomorrow. Like nothing's really gonna change in this game, I don't feel like.
This is the duo here that are in for 4 a.m. Tongmu looking for those grenades. They think he's on the outside and they're right, but the grenades are just going too far.
Cooked maybe just a bit too long. The longer this goes on, it is denying out any res opportunity for Buriram. So while the peaks are starting to happen, it's just going to be a matter of time until the contain comes in. Khan runs into the Wizard Tower, finally finding some safety, but it's not feeling too good. Khan does get the knock onto Shin and goes for the flush. Tongmu runs around. Going to be enough, as that's pretty much all she wrote for this area, but 4 Angry Men doesn't know that.
Well, the good news here for 4 a.m., there is the ability to go for revives.
Edie is pretty far away from this. Actually, about to have to deal
Oh
with
well.
It's the decision here from Buriram was to send 3, and that's just how it goes. You either win that fight or you don't, and then you're going to leave that solo out on their own. And he might also maybe be able to get a revive, but with BagelPod driving in the vicinity of 4 a.m., if they suss out that that's a weak team, they might go for it. The other problem is the Falcons also angling in this direction. He's got a couple teams that could...
We'll see how this turns out.
...keep 4 a.m. from maybe going a little bit further into this game.
4 Angry Men are actually leaving the compound, but Edie has already had to send himself pretty far into the north, so I guess you just kind of got to let that one go at the stage. BagelPod does look like they're kind of hunting in back behind him, but I think that they're just going to have to let him go, send on his merry way. 4 Angry Men now getting close to the Falcons like you're talking about, but not close enough to be a problem. Kick's not going to have good vision on this for time to take a shot, so not even going to opt in to going for anything at that stage. Irina kind of rotating into the south, as we do have FaZe, Na'Vi pretty close to each other on the hillsides to the south of Pachinki. Gen.G going to be pretty comfortable into the west of that, while FS holding a 2-2 split in Gatka proper. Team Liquid still holding their Everest and north compound of Everest split.
Yeah, so still phase 1. Don't know what phase 2 wants to do. Diggleton wants to chase down 4 a.m. maybe. I think they're looking for the revive. Extends, let loose with a grenade. A little bit of damage done here to FaZe, but nothing catastrophic, nothing critical. Na'Vi
nothing critical.
Just some harassment for now.
Shout out to VP holding a very strong set of positions along ruins to the north and to the west of it. And Falcons, yeah,
they know. They know.
Yeah, they're going to come after this, and this could be a problem.
Edie's here too?
That's a prolonged situation that's going to surprise Edie in a way that nobody's expecting. Nade's going to bounce, going to get some damage, but not enough to get the knock. So now, going to reveal Edie going for the shots onto a Tongmu, and now Falcon's even going to be surprised. The Tongmu's like, what the cha? How is Edie here of all people?
And I'm sure the Falcons are thinking the exact same thing. Like, why is Edie also here? Is he also going for a revive? But the Falcons are trying to completely surround this revive station, do what they can to deny, but they got to be a bit careful. The longer this goes on, the more blue they're going to chew through, the longer they're going to not give themselves, opportunities to maybe get a little bit ahead of the curve in rotations. I like this idea. It's just Edie kind of threw a wrench into the works here as you're looking for Xiaolu, who's just
very favorable for Na'Vi and everybody that was playing to the south. BagelPod going to have to make a wrap enough for their regroup team.
Situations like this, DuckJuice there, you're going to see Xiao Bei, and this is a situation that is unfurling based on what we saw earlier. Gen.G holding the line against the Arena. Flame and Tosi Gonna do some serious damage there, as this is inside of the next circle, but kind of on that edge by Pachinki, so it's okay. It's definitely going to be just fine for now, but Irina suffering, gonna have to lick their wounds and scoot on back. Forest, fresh off of a... Nothing really to speak of in this just yet. A little bit of damage tickling in as Tigger will throw some...
Feel too good the longer that this game goes on. Begapod is also rotated into Ranjak just a bit ahead of Falcons, so that might be a potential skirmish that's going to be brewing. That's kind of about it right now. It's just pot shots going at FS from VP most notoriously.
Where does this go, though? Is my stay as far away from the madness south of the river as best they can. Pachinki going to be the stopping point for Al-Qadsia. This is an okay spot to be in, I would say. It gives you a lot of control over this circle in terms of if it starts to shift north towards that Badlands. You can do a little gatekeeping. And what happened here with Irina, they just try to drive by Gen G, and Tosi lighten them up, and then Flames turn up to bat, and he knocks it out of the park. Nasty stuff.
Over here. Nobody committing into the Badlands, no surprise on that. The closest team going to be Begapod, I guess, V blue zone, while in the red, pretty much living that purple life, I guess.
We're just gonna try and...
This is why we're best friends.
Just get into the circle, get into some safety. They just haven't quite have some tough work ahead of them to just kind of hold on to those compounds. I mean, that is not bad as far as this circle goes. As Ruin's going to be claimed by Forest.
Moving into Badlands early, using the BRDM for cover, not the worst. You do get a lot more opportunity that they called. I'm not certain if they'll take it, though. I don't know what else you could get out of it unless you just kind of wanted to jump across. But
Falcons are like now just stand on the edge. The circle's about to move.
Not a lot feels.
Oops.
That's situated between School and Pachinki. You actually have
that are kind of over there. Stopping that point, I think that might be what they're looking for. Yeah, they're just going to go ahead and kind of gun it along this point. Good enough. Team Liquid going to go ahead and send it into Gen G. Orca. Orca's going to be like, nah, bro, I want nothing to do with that. Going to be running. Oh, hey, does a barrel roll, does a couple of flips, and still manages to land it at half health. Respect.
Style points. Let's go. As the Falcons had the same idea as FaZe.
FaZe throwing some utility. Shrimsy does spot out Vex and takes a shot to at least slow him down. The rest of FaZe, remember, Gustav's actually pretty far away from this, and while this is happening, Irina actually makes landfall into Pachinki as well, so a potential third face that might show itself in this firefight.
That, I would think, is more likely to cause FaZe problems than Falcons, given how they're situated in Pachinki, if it comes to that.
Why does it say Falcons are still in the blue zone? Oh, okay.
He actually is going south of where the rest of the Falcons are, somehow, some way.
That's a big emergency pickup for a squad that needed just something. I mean, after kind of what happened around Yasnaya. So
I'm reminded of a phrase from one of our friends who used to cast the game with us, by hook or by crook. 4 a.m., trying to get in.
By hook or by crook.
They are wrapping more south. Gustav did regroup at Church, so that's going to be pretty close to Na'Vi of all squads. It's getting pretty hot around Pachinki as nobody really wants to make too much of a committal in. H1 actually kind of scouting pretty close to Al-Qadsia as the new circle pops. This isn't going to be in play, and H1 is the wrong neighborhood. You're going to get popped easy. Rolo's going to take that one near on free.
This is a tough situation for all these Pachinki zoned teams. You're going to have to fight your way in. Kind of one of those situations where you'd love to wait this out a little bit, let everybody else fight around you, and then make your move. Falcons tried to get ahead of the curve, could not do so. 4 a.m. in the air. Xiaolu gone. Tungmu, can you get on the ground? Trying to use that parachute to move around a bit. Does so. Long's already in the vicinity. So for 4 a.m. Shen over here as well. You know what? This could be a lot worse.
It somehow managed to happen, and everybody's kind of next to each other again. Sure. Make whatever you can do. As Ruins isn't the worst place to be. The Expendables are going to be just to the west of this, Forest to the south of it. Here comes some.
Those are for Na'Vi.
Is that going into Na'Vi?
He had it at almost 300 meters.
So it's going to be Kickstart that gets the knock onto Gustav. Opon steals it away, and now FaZe realizing there's a lot of friends around them. Vex goes, all right, well, I guess if we're going to send it, we just got to send it. Goes after Tig, does find it, but Kickstart gets through. Oh, that car almost could have been a problem for Kickstart.
It got him right in the invulnerable state, so he didn't get flushed by the car. It's going to put Tig in the car and say, we're going on a journey, my friend. Buckle up. Here we go. Shrimzy already a little bit further ahead, but I think at this point, as Falcons try to let everybody else fight it out, you see if you can find some level of safety to get this res to go. Vard is down to the blue and taking some damage. Opans is like, thank you very much.
I'll take the free point.
Continue on as the arena finds their moment to strike.
FaZe now in a lot of trouble. Na'Vi completely surrounding them. Falcons trying to regroup. James, though, he has some solutions for that one, and that's going to be the shotgun. At least get a point out of it. Shrimzy spots out what's going on with Opans. Gets an easy shot, and now it's just going to be the continued trek of these squads all stacked up next to each other. But Na'Vi has to be careful. They still have Gen G to the west of them.
Yeah, Na'Vi not completely safe by any stretch of the imagination.
Get there. There you go.
Yep, that's okay. No problem at all. Tiggleton just doing a little leapfrogging here for the Falcons. Immediately gets lit up by Na'Vi, trying to press forward. A grenade, if he had gone any further in their direction, would have been knocked potentially. So he's going to have to rethink how he wants to maneuver.
We've also spotted, Vegapod has spotted out Twisted Minds. Looks like they were trying to drop a couple mortars over there. Falcons had the same idea Alcazia had, and Hakatori's going to spot out Tiggleton. Easy pickup for him. That's going to alert position. Gen G, you can see, trying to swoop in behind this one, while Falcons just trying to get into the circle somewhere. It's just time to be bold. It's time to be brave. They're going to run next to FS. That's going to get instantly punched by Beamy. Shrimzy just sending it. It's going to be getting close now to Team Liquid, who's got a pretty wide split. Purdy Curdy just out in the middle, going to spot this. Shrimzy has to abandon the vehicle, drops down, explodes. At least some cover to be had.
How is he not dead? He's on 1 HP there.
He is a survivor.
When he tried to go out of the shelter, finally finds his opportunity, gets the first aid, gets the finish. Vegapod cannot take this fight cleanly. They are hemorrhaging players left and right. And here comes 4AM Shen with a P90 from behind.
Badlands fights are just going to go this way. It feels like there's enemies all around you. 4 Angry Men.
Headshot.
Something. It has just been brutal for them this entire game, but Twisted Minds now being the new threat right next to him, and Vegapod just punished right in between the two.
Gen G losing players to Na'Vi on the other side, trying to take a fight on the southern edge of the circle, but this is looking dire for Park Pro. He's just sitting here hoping he can maybe squeeze out a point or two, or maybe 4AM will keep Twisted Minds from cresting that hill, so he can just sit in the middle for now. But you would think one way or another he's dead. Orca trying to kill off screen. Perfectix had just taken a big chunk out of Shen. Tungmu returns the favor, at least for 4AM.
Quick update to the south. Gen G and Na'Vi did bump into each other. Gen G finding the better end of that situation. Park Pro, the longer he can survive, he's just kind of become a fence between these two squads. Neither one of them wants to push into position because they're afraid he might go for any shots at him. And he's going to eventually run out of smokes here in a while. Twisted just finally going, okay, we just have to deal with this problem. Let's just go ahead and leapfrog into this point. Park Pros inside the US trying to use it for cover, but Lou's finally going to go ahead and go for the shots onto him. Example going to go ahead and find them with it. Shin tries to prep up a nade, but how cooked is it?
That was scary there. Almost flushed onto Example. He's got the P90. He's got one, but Perfectix is there for the trade. That was almost disaster for Twisted Minds.
Tongmu still holding the angle on this. Goes for some follow-up. Nade does drop onto Perfectix. Example almost bled out, but Tulin's going to commit into the res. And, I mean, there's some loot to be had over here, but here comes Alcazia. Back wrapping in, spots out 4 Angry Men. Sprays are easy and clean. Points to be found. They're just picking off everybody. All the firefighting coming back over into their favor. 6 kills now, as it is going to be Twisted Minds eliminated and 4 Angry Men out as well.
Love this decision from Alcazia. A perfect time to strike. Meanwhile, mutually assured destruction here between some of our teams. 17 on overwatch of what's going on below. The Expendables, Team Liquid, suffering heavy casualties, trying to find some way through. And Xiao Wu with the Dragunov is going to take Clories out of the equation. He's going to see Tanvu. That's another here for 17.
Very common spot for Team Liquid to play, I feel like.
10 kills now tied up with VP. We have Twisted out and Falcons out. VP tied up with Gen G at 83. There is a big opportunity to continue the climb.
Let's be fair, 16th place team is 44 points.
VP getting circle love yet again.
like, going into the final day, maybe not first place, but 2 wins with some good kills, and your 16th place team goes all the way up into 3rd place. Maybe not by the end of this match. Maybe it'll only be like a 5th place kind of thing. I don't know. You can get up to 80 points very quickly, though. And they're at 44, so you can get up to like... You can get up to 84 very quickly.
As Gen G can just kind of slow creep their way into this southern edge.
4 kills for 17. Starting to find some successes in their firefights right now, and they've got themselves at least a good position to start inside the circle. Eyeing into VP's position while they have been getting some circle love in that compound, they have to be careful about Forest and Alcazia.
I mean, you're really looking at, like, Falcon's the only one that can catch Twisted, and then VP and Gen G can both catch Falcons. You need a good couple of games for 4 AM, and then they can catch up. Same with E-Arena for Falcons.
That hillside right outside of VP's compound starting to get a lot of attention between Forest as well as Alcazia CRDM.
Oh!
Oh my god, absolutely disgusting from Purdy Curdy. That is some nasty AWM shooting. That makes my day. That right there, that was worth it.
Here we go. This is the hillside firefight. VP kind of supervising. Nice bounce on that nade. Gonna cause some problems for Alcazia. Forest in defense did leave Kiss behind while Alcazia left Roth to try to protect themselves.
I like this from Alcazia. They're gonna set up a nice defensive line from Forest. Not much VP can really do right now unless there's some good grenades that are gonna come Alcazia's way. Roth trying to get in, takes a whole bunch of damage. Olympus will set him down. And there you go. That's going to be Roth out, but at least for Alcazia, you're somewhere. I don't see any frags here in Scappy's hands, so he can't immediately try to punish that position with any of the util. It's just a matter of what does Forest have behind that. They're actually going to start scooting these vehicles back, trying to, again, keep Forest as barricaded as they can. Gen G has to just sit on top of this mountain. They don't want to give any more freebies over to 17. You lost Orca earlier to 17 Gaming, instead being with a 3x on an AUG, just hammering down a little bit of damage. 17 pinned in that position for now. Purdy Curdy, what can you do? You hit one of the most disgusting AWM shots we've seen in a while. Is he going to be good for any further follow-up? I think he was out of AWM shots. There are those grenades. Olympus connects.
I mean, BRDM is going to be enough for protection on it. Does Forest opt into running? Looks like they want this one. But it's going to be Flame from Gen G that actually takes the shots to protect Alcazia. Flame gets a knock onto Olympus, so Alcazia knows that. That means that they can commit into this res. Whoa! That's going to be shots from Beamy to blow up the BRDM, and Cowboy goes down.
Hey, nice for VP. They needed some kills out of this. You know, a phenomenal center circle position. You're gifted, you know, 9 on this one, and you're just going to try to lock it down. And anything you can get, still, I mean, I have to assume they're holding on to a ton of util, a ton of frags.
Yeah. At
this point, they've been in this since I can remember in this game, so certainly could be devastating.
VP gonna get another win. And they're gonna be looking to try and get to top spot potentially.
Flame was thinking about the smoke grenade launcher to try to set this up, set a potential crash maybe on Alcazia.
I guess they know that where the weekend squad's going to be playing from. It's really just about how Gen G and 17 want to play this. Well, Kurt is still just annoying 17. He is just causing them no end of trouble. They can't really make too big of a move. Here we go. It's just time to Clown Car send it right into Alcazia. They know that Alcazia is weakened. They're going to crest the hillside, see if they can go for a shot. Not going to connect with the way they want it. Good pickups coming up from everybody as 3 different teams take shots into Gen G to drop them.
Yeah, just nowhere
yeah.
for Gen G to
1 point apiece.
From all those other teams holding
hey.
Gen G out. Don't even give them a sliver of hope.
Good little grab at the end of the day for Alcazia.
There's enough of a hill here that as long as nobody's able to get up on the roofs, which at this point would be very, very
up to 49 points. If 17 goes down, then Alcazia might be able to pass them.
On the other side of Virtus Pro's compound here, are they going to be able to claim any more points? Is Forest going to be able to come out of this with all 4 up? Can Alcazia do anything? Those are the big questions for our final 4 teams.
It's been a VP day. They have been just massive every single game, finding big points, finding success, chasing up to the top. They've got the compound, but they've got threats firmly surrounding them on every single side except for the south. They can't get too involved in anything without being afraid that somebody is just going to try to backstab them. Forest down low with Alcazzi, as we've been watching for a while. Little Ghost creeping closer and closer by the second. But it's going to be Beamy that starts to spot out what's going on with 17 Gaming. That could open up more of a firefight. No matter how this goes, Forest and Alcazzi are still very uncomfortable next to each other.
It's still right on top of VP. Phase 8 will end outside of their compound, though, but just barely, it looks like. So going to be kind of tricky for 17. They might be able to gatekeep VP out of the center circle long enough, as long as nobody does anything crazy to try to make a wide wrap. I mean, maybe there's a world where Forest tries to swing around, but knowing how many players are left in the lobby, you're pretty aware that the western edge is going to be occupied. Grenades are good. Yeah. The follow-up to take down Rello. Now it's all on to D, but we've seen what he can do.
He's got some cover to play from. The way that the smoke line comes out, if Forest goes after this, D could have the angle to just demolish this approach. He's got to be careful. Lots of utility is coming after him. Limpus knows exactly where he is. They're going to be content on one side. A good peek around. Baron tries to play from the backside, seeing if he could surprise. But D does not fall for it. It's going to be enough, though. D with that knock. Is it going to provide any form? Then yes, 17 is going to use the distraction. They run right into it, instantly take off to the roofs.
That could be the winning move here for 17 Gaming. They now have control over the center circle ahead of Virtus Pro for sure. In fact, even Xiaowu finding the knock onto Nixie. So
yeah, 17 just needs to avoid getting knocked.
And 17 Gaming, this has gone from looking like a VP for sure win into, oh no, we are in trouble.
Forest just sending up any form of cover they can to see if they can make this a bit more dicey. Actually just going to use it to get on top of the roof, maybe compete up against some of the 17 positioning. 17 has inside track to the center dot whenever we start to see this collapse.
17 can play this very slow.
Has Little Ghost to play from to provide some supporting angles. VP now trapped in the compounds that's been providing safety for so much, but we know this squad can absolutely pop off.
Boom.
Just the fact that there's
That's an entry. Forest needs to get in here.
Anything to make it work, while Forest is continuing to climb the leaderboard.
Olympus is going absolutely crazy right now. He is hitting everything he looks at. He is making life miserable for everybody. Oh, Lil Ghost, how do you get down to safety there?
Forest off that
Olympus has almost nothing left, though.
Does manage to follow up onto the nade, but Baron at least manages to secure the point onto Beamy. Xiaowu, the rest of 17 sitting at 5 kills and control over the circle for now. Forest trapped on the other
Good
side.
flush, good flush. Save the rest of your nades.
Able to move Scappy. Looks like he might just go for a bit of a position with the car, but he takes a lot of damage. That's going to stall that out. This is getting dicey as everything is starting to condense down to that center dot.
Imagine if you had a C4 here as 17. You could actually just clean up like 6 kills with. Oh, there's a C4 for Scappy.
Oh, this
my
could
God.
be big. Where does he want to send it? He's so close to VP. They could use that, or they could just roll it right through the center of it all. If he can get right into the mix of all of this, 17, do you even expect this to be coming? It's going to be close enough, but the timing for it's not going to work. The explosion comes out, and everybody manages to get to some form of safety.
It did push Lil Ghost into Nixie's viewpoint. Oh my God, he's got underneath him. He's got the shotgun underneath.
Oh my God, my headset's dead right now with this timing. It's awful.
It spun everything around. VP used the opportunity. Panzerfaust right into Nixie's face. 7-7 up on top. Goes for his sneaky play back behind it all. Running out in the thick of a quick exchange going on for everybody. But it is going to be a big game for 17.
Important game for 17 there.
PGS 7 champions have found success finally here at PGS 9. Able to close out day 2 with a much needed chicken dinner. A stellar day for Virtus Pro. Yeah, they couldn't get the win here.
You know, the teams that are outside here, can they continue? I mean,
placement, not kills. They're now in 4th place with 84. That is a really impressive climb for Gen G.
Gen G good, Virtus Pro doing good. 17 up to 10.
Crazy lead they've been able to extend. Team Falcons.
Damn.
As we've got some few fighting words here and there, maybe out of Tiggleton, not quite as feisty as old Batulins, but he's also a bit of a realist. He knows that it will be a difficult catch-up.
When you're 24 points behind in a 12-game series, that's 2 points per game more that they have been putting up every single game.
Every game.
But that's what it comes down tonight. Twisted Minds will go home. They'll keep putting one foot in front of the other. They'll change nothing, right? The Bears and the Birds are going to go back to their hotel. They're going to study what Twisted Minds is doing, and their strategy is going to be built around.
All right, well, I appreciate everyone that did stop by. I'm gonna disappear now. I might go take a nap. Have